What's that?
Mrs. Walker. A cup of tea. Only she had a bad night.
Yeah. How do you know?
Well, I saw a light on when I got up to go to the bathroom about 1-ish, and then it was on again later about 3:30.
Until you get up?
I tried not to disturb you. Just wanted to make myself a hot drink. I had a bad night, too.
Oh, sorry, love.
You do realise how much this has upset me, don't you, Fred?
You're not the only one it's upset.
I just want you to promise me you'll drop the whole thing. There's no point in going to the brewery. Once they've made their mind up, the Queen herself couldn't change it. It's like banging your head against a brick wall. I know that lot. I know what I'm talking about.
If you're going to take her a cup of tea, I should do, love, before it gets cold. It's a nice thought.
There we are.
He's got beans with his.
He asked for these.
Well, I thought he'd come with it.
No, not unless you ask. Sausage and egg, you said.
Well, I thought it was included, sausage, egg and beans.
You've got a right one here, missus.
No, it's not included, but you can have it if you want it, but it'll cost you extra.
I don't want it. I just thought it was included. I'd have my rights. And I don't like being done out my rights, you know.
Nobody could do you out of your rights, Chuck.
I'll give over nattering, Grandad. And we're getting me grub today, then I'll what? After being Birmingham by flaming 10.
Look, she's just putting it out for you. I'm getting it for you now.
I've been stood there 10 minutes more like. I bet it's gone stone cold.
Oh.
Fetch us another cup of tea while you're at it, eh?
Look, you have to do something about this. We'll have to get a girl or something to help us when we're busy like
Oh,
this.
we talk well enough between us.
Oh, thank you. Here. Sausage and chips, cup of tea, bread and butter, please. Look, we can cope when there is 2 of us.
Well, there is, isn't there? I mean, a third body'd only get under our feet.
As I remember it, the whole of yesterday afternoon, I was here by myself.
Well, I did tell you, love. I'm sorry, but you managed, didn't you? Of course you did. I mean, Jim's forever telling me how capable you are. Ran this place a treat, he said.
How very nice of him.
Well, credit's where it's due. I mean, he's got a sharp tongue on it, but he does know when he's got a good worker, does Jim?
Good worker. Good mug, you mean. There you are.
Tell you to give us a smile with it, would he?
Huh? Huh.
What you need is a bit of peace and quiet, like what you had B.E.
Where you gone, Beb?
B.E.? You know, before Eunice. Nothing against her personal, like, but she doesn't half seem to have stirred things up since she landed in Freddie's little life.
And mine. And when she finds out he's gone to the brewery in spite of her.
Can only end up in a punch-up. Unless, of course, he does manage to sort it out. You don't think so?
Neither do you. Why do you think that I refuse to intervene further? There are some stones better left unturned.
But if you don't, and he doesn't have any luck today, you're stuck with them. Bye-bye, Mr. Pritchard.
Under no circumstances, whatever happens. This is a situation I do not intend to tolerate indefinitely. I have been exceedingly patient as it is.
You have, Mrs. Walker, a saint.
Everything all right in the cellar, Fred?
Everything's A-OK as usual, Mrs. Walker.
As usual, Fred.
Hey, Fred, don't you think you should tell Eunice she's still going to see Newton and Ridley's?
No, I don't. And I don't want you opening your trap either. But you've got 1 or 2 little secrets you don't want spilling.
Aye, blackmail now, is it?
No, diplomacy, innit? Can't think why I told you in the first place.
Because, Freddykins, you trust me. And also because I am your dearest friend and confidant. And also because, if you hadn't told somebody at that particular moment in time, you'd have probably bust a gut.
Wish me luck, though, eh?
Course, cock. I wish you all luck. I can't stop, love. I'm supposed to be on my way back from the bank.
You got time for a coffee?
No, I can't really. It's not fair on Alf. No, what I called in to say is, what are we doing about this flipping honeymoon we're supposed to be having?
I'll have it.
Yeah, I know, but we've shillied and shallied and been all over the globe and we've still not actually got anything booked. I mean, I can see us winding up in blaming Blackpool.
Agreed. A decision will be made. Happy?
Yeah. I think I love you, Mr. Barlow.
I know I love you.
Mm.
Oh, look, before you go, you know what you were saying last night to Tracy about the possibility of a little brother or sister?
Yeah. It's a bit daft, really. And I just got to thinking about when I was a kid and
How I used to envy all my mates who had brothers. You know, when they took me to see Father Christmas, I always used to ask him for a baby brother.
Not a sister.
No, I always wanted a brother somehow. But yes, I mean, a sister would have been fine. Even now, well, especially now, it would be nice to have someone. Hey, you're not trying to tell me you don't want kids, are you?
Oh, no, it's not that. Just that, well, I haven't really thought about it seriously.
Perhaps you should.
Yeah. Still, this isn't the time, is it?
You brought it up.
Right, well, we'll put it on the agenda for tonight as well.
Okay, then. Honeymoon first, kids later. I mean, that is usually the way they do it, isn't it?
Then that is the way that we'll do it, okay?
Right. See you, love.
Right, bye.
Oh, I'm shattered. I'm taking my dinner 12 while 1. If I don't close my eyes for 10 minutes, I'll fall asleep on my feet.
Keeping you at it, Ellie?
What? No, I just had a bad night.
Mrs. Walker's having the same problem. I wonder why that could be.
You know, it really is too bad. That man Dodd said he'd be here at 10 o'clock. It is now almost 12. There's no sign of the man.
The decorator is that? Oh, they're all the same.
And Fred isn't back either.
Is Fred out?
Oh, yes. I sent him on an errand.
Well, he's usually here at opening time, isn't
Yes,
he?
he must have been delayed.
Like the decorator. Probably both fell down the same big hole. Pity this one didn't and all. Nothing, sunshine. Welcome, welcome. As ever, it is nothing but a joy to see your smiling physog.
Bet, will you tell Fred I'm having a little nap when he comes in?
Will do, Cock. That was a near miss.
Got to know sometime.
Well, let him be the one to tell her.
Mrs. Walker?
Mr. Dodds, I had almost given you up.
No. If I say I'll come, I come. Now, sorry to use this entrance, but there's a lorry blocking your alleyway, so I've had to park van out front. OK if I go through?
Yes, indeed. I hoped you'd be into it by now.
Well, I set off right enough. And then, just as I were driving through Worsley, the light were that grand, I had no option but to stop.
What for?
I paint...
Supposed to.
No, I mean I paint pictures. It's my hobby. That canal at Worsley looked a fair treat this morning. Sun shining on the water. All them little barges. I only wish I had the talent to really do it justice.
Well, I hope you can do justice to my decorating.
Right. I'll get cracking then.
I should hope so.
By crikey. I bet that's one Skype not even you've thought up yet, eh? Late on the job because you're painting pretty pictures.
Reckon I could get away with it?
No more than Mr. Dodds has.
Don't you believe in Mrs. Walker?
Really? Do I look as if I was born yesterday?
No, Mrs. Walker. Oh, it's like a flipping time warp in here. You two, in dinner hour. I'm half expecting Susie Birchall to come trolling in.
You got it. We're pretending to be bachelor girls again.
Young, unattached, footloose and fancy-free.
Not a thing to worry about except who we're going out with Saturday night.
And which frock to spend next week's pay packet on.
Sounds a lot like my lifestyle, does that?
I've given my mother-in-law a treat. She's got Nicky all to herself. She loves to give him his dinner.
Are we having a pie? Yeah. Right, 2 pies, please, Bet. Lager?
Yeah.
2 lagers as well.
Sit down, I'll fetch them across when they're heated up.
Right.
Hey, girls. Are you serious about this bachelor girl business? Only don't forget I'm still a bachelor lad, you know.
Just for this dinner hour, Eddie. Come 2 o'clock and Cinderella's back to the kitchen sink, washing nappies and peeling potatoes.
Do you think you'll have more kids?
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, if I can. I'd like a little girl next time. Be just right, that, a little girl and a little boy. Mind you, it won't be for some time yet. We can't afford it and we haven't got the room. I have to wait for Brian to get his partnership.
At the garage? Is he getting one?
No, it's just a silly pipe dream of mine. Mind you, he's definitely getting more ambitious these days. What about you?
Me?
You can have more babies when you're married.
I hope so.
Look at them. One wed, one about to get wed. Your heart bleeds for him, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, she's in her element, isn't she?
Aye. The best house at way.
Now, I know this doesn't look much, but it is better than strained carrots and egg custard.
If you don't like it, don't eat it.
Sorry, love, I was only joking.
Well, we've had enough of them sort of cracks in here.
What's up with Elsie? I mean, she used to be good for a laugh, didn't she?
They all have their moods.
You're beginning to sound like an old married man, you are.
I am an old married man.
What are you doing this weekend, then? You got out planned?
Yeah, got a couple of jobs on the house on Saturday, and I've got some overtime on Sunday.
You know, I was thinking.
What's that?
Well, about holidays and that. And just a couple of summers ago, your mum and me were planning to go to Benidorm.
I know.
Yeah, don't suppose we'll get there now, will we?
Hey, of course we will. I tell you what, we'll all go on my yacht.
Elsie, are you coming? This lot's been ready
you that it is not. He was arguing with me over a lousy 30p. He said I was trying to do him.
Oh, were you?
Of course I wasn't. He was just trying it on, that's all. And I'd be very much obliged if you didn't yell at me across this cafe like I was some silly little kid or other.
Well, you shouldn't let food go cold, should you?
Look, I've been on my feet ever since this morning. What do you expect me to do? Get fitted with roller skates?
Where have you been? Been trying to have a bit of a sleep, but I can't. My nerves are that on edge. I've got to be back to work in 10 minutes.
I've been to the brewery, haven't I?
What? I thought I told you not to.
Yeah, now I know why.
What do you mean by that?
Well, according to them, there's no doubt about it. You and your mate, you definitely had your hands in the till.
Oh, and they've got proof of that, have they?
Have you got proof you hadn't?
Because I say so. I never took a bent farthing. I don't care what they say. And as my husband, you should believe me. You shouldn't need proof. If you love me, that is.
I want to believe you, of course I do, but I mean...
But you'd rather take their word for it, is that it?
I mean, this seems so certain, and then you not wanting me to go down
Only
there...
because I knew what had happened and I was right, wasn't I? They'd poisoned your mind against me, that's what they've done.
Oh, hell's teeth, I don't know what to believe now, that's the truth.
Well, that's up to you, isn't it? Because I finished. I've told you my story, and if you don't believe me, you can think what the hell you like.
No, I kept the Sunday papers because I think they're the best bet. They're all the last-minute bookings. I think those and the brochures are probably already gone by now.
So, we definitely think Corfu, do we?
Oh, Corfu certainly sounds attractive.
What's a Corfu?
It's not a what, darling. It's a place. It's a lovely island in the sunshine where people go for the holidays. Now then, there's about 3 here that sound all right. I don't like the sound of this one, though. It sounds a bit too isolated. It says, perched picturesquely on a mountainside. I don't fancy being perched picturesquely on a mountainside, do you?
Oh, not my honeymoon, no.
This one sounds okay, though. Beachside Taverna. What are you doing with them, love?
I've been on holiday with you. I get to make a big, great sandcastle and a sunshine.
Oh, but you're not. Oh, heck, Ken.
Hello? Rover's return? Mrs. Walker? No, I believe she's gone out. Can I take a message? Oh, Mr. Pritchard. Well, no, I can't tell you when I'm leaving, mate, because, well, it'll be a bit longer than we thought, actually, because, well, circumstances have changed, you know. Yeah, well, I know you want to know, because you want to know when you want to start work, but, well, you don't want to be out of a job, do you, mate? But, I mean, all I can say is, well, I should start looking elsewhere if I was you. I'm sorry, pal, but I don't want to mess you about, but that's it, innit? Yeah, well, sorry. OK, pal, see ya.
Eunice not back yet, then?
No, not yet.
What are you having, Cock? I bet you could murder a pint. Smell of that stuff done half getting in your lungs.
Get used to it. Go on. Yes. I shall knock off now till tomorrow.
Hey, I hope you're not up to no ex-certificate stuff in Mrs. Walker's bedrooms.
How do you mean?
You know, painting naughty murals on the walls, eh? Like that Pompey place.
Where?
Pompeii means in Italy.
Oh, aye, where they had that earthquake. Like what we're due to have in here shortly.
No, I go in just for small landscapes and that.
Do you do the sea? Because I always think it's dead hard to paint, you know, the sea. All that water and that, you know.
No, I just go in for canals and lakes more. But there's definitely something about water. I get up to the Lake District whenever I can. Never get tired of painting up there. It's amazing. Every time of year it has something different to offer.
Hey, you really do paint pictures. You do, don't you?
His hobby. But don't worry, I don't mix business with pleasure. Mrs. Walker will get her magnolia walls as ordered.
I thought you were having us on.
No. Why would I want to do that?
Well, big butch fella like you, she thinks anybody who paints is a sissy, don't you, Bet?
No, I don't, you big daft ape. Take no notice. It just seemed a bit of an unlikely tale why you were late when you come in.
I suppose you're right. I hadn't thought of it like that.
Hey, are you good then, or what?
Shouldn't think so. Gives me pleasure, that's all.
Well, that's what counts, isn't it?
The only thing I can do that's creative is make my face up. Mind you, some days that's a minor miracle of art in itself.
Hey, do you sell them?
Heck no. Who pay for them?
Plenty. You'd be surprised how much people fork out for rubbish. Hey, I'm not saying your stuff's rubbish. It's probably worth a lot more than the stuff they pay hundreds for. Listen, why don't I have a word with Mrs. Walker and we'll get a few put up in here?
He's having you on. Told you were daft.
Keep your nose out, Lynch. I'm entirely serious. What do you reckon, Bert?
Yeah, it's right. A lot of pubs are doing that now, seemingly.
You see?
Sort of little exhibition, you mean? Well, I've no objection if she's not. Don't expect to make anything from it, though. I'm no salesman.
Oh, well, that's where we'll make a good team, you see. You paint him, I'll flog him. How's that suit you?
Fair enough.
Right, it's a deal. Now, listen, I will expect a little small commission for me endeavours, naturally, like.
Naturally.
I'll tell you what. Now, you sell out of mine, I'll see you right. Meanwhile, will you settle for a pint?
You're a gent.
I'll get you one, mate.
Yeah, sure, I'll have half, please. Thank you very much.
Oh, Mrs. Walker, could I have a word in your shell, like?
No, not at the moment, Eddie. It really is most annoying. I put Mr. Pritchard's number down on a pad by the telephone. It's no longer there. Have you seen it?
Oh, no.
Mr. Pritchard, Mrs. Walker.
Yeah.
Oh, he was on the phone earlier. I told him I thought you were out.
Oh, I'm not surprised. The poor man has been hanging on to hear from him. I'm very remiss. Now I've lost his number.
Well, I shouldn't worry about that. He knows the score. He'll make other arrangements.
Other arrangements? What on earth do you mean?
Well, I explained to him, you know, about me and Eunice, circumstances, not getting a pub and that, you know, and, well, that we'll be hanging on here for a bit, you know.
You told him that?
Well, I only said it to be fair to him, Mrs. Walker. Like, if we're stopping here, you won't be needed in, will you?
How dare you? How dare you take a decision like that without even consulting me? I'll talk to you later.
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
Yeah, well, I'll have a word with her tomorrow. I don't think now was just the right moment, somehow.
I'll not be 5 minutes, love.
Do you want to come and talk to me while I get ready?
Where's Tracy?
She's got this bee in her bonnet about sleeping her Auntie Emily, so I haven't got to make her tea tonight. Listen, let me just wipe the counter down. School kids come in and make it all sticky with ice lolly. Did you get in touch with a travel agent? Can he get us in?
Well, yes, they can't do our first choice, but they can do the second. So I've taken an option on it, and we've got 24 hours to decide.
Decide? Thought we'd already decided.
Yes, but for how many?
Hmm? Oh, me and my big mouth. I didn't even know she was listening.
No, well, obviously the poor little thing thinks she's coming with us.
Oh, Ken. Suppose you'd hate the idea.
Oh, no, I wouldn't hate it. I mean, might be a good opportunity for us to get to know us as a family, but...
But it's not really the done thing to take a little kid away on your honeymoon with you.
Look, love, whatever you want to do.
Oh, she can't come. Wouldn't be right. I mean, it wouldn't be fair on you, for one thing. No, I think the best thing to do is just say nothing. Don't mention it in front of her again and just hope she forgets all about it.
Oh, yeah, thanks. So anyway...
You know, Jim will have to have a word with Mrs. Prendergast. She's 10 minutes late again.
Where do you think you're going?
Well, I've got to get him his tea, love. Well, you don't mind hanging on till Mrs. Prendergast gets here, do you?
Well, I've got a home to go to and all, you know.
Oh, yes, but you're your own boss, aren't you? I mean, you don't have a hungry man yelling at you if his meal's not on the table in time.
Look, I've been on the go ever since this morning. I've been here an hour extra anyway, hanging on.
Well, Jim will see you right in your pay packet. I mean, you don't have to worry about that.
It's not my pay packet I'm worried about. It's me. I'm not a cart horse, you know. Oh, all right. I'll hang on for a bit till she comes. But I'm coming in an hour late in the morning just to make up.
Oh, well, no, love.
What do you mean, well, no, love?
Well, I'm having my perm tomorrow. I mean, I've had it booked for weeks, but look, I'll certainly be in by 11, past at the latest, but I will need you to open up for me.
Right. You can open up by yourself, you can close up by yourself, you can do the whole flaming lot by yourself and see how you like being rotten dog spot.
Elsie, love!
Don't you, Elsie, love me. I've had it. I've had it up to here. I'm sick and tired of being made a convenience of left, right and flaming centre. Right, you can tell your Jim they can stick his job, right? Right. Oh!
Bet told me you were in here.
I was just making a cup of tea while it were quiet.
Have you had anything to eat?
No, I didn't want out.
I went to my dad's after work.
And?
It wasn't much help. We just sat there, looking at one another. I never could talk to him. It was different with me, Ma'am. Oh, Fred, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for flying off the handle like that. I know you meant well. I just knew what had happened. And I was right, wasn't I?
Yeah. I'll have to remember to listen to you in future, love.
But we mustn't let this make problems between us.
Of course we won't, Flower. We've got each other, that's all that matters.
Yeah. There'll be other pubs. Newton and Ridley aren't the only flipping brewery in the world, are they?
Of course they're not. Who wants one of their pubs any road? Pig-headed, ignorant lot they are.
Oh, so you're here, Eunice. Well, perhaps it's just as well. I'm sorry for that outburst earlier. I should not have spoken to you in public like that.
It's all right, Mrs. Walker. We all blow our tops sometimes.
Quite. But the point is, although I shouldn't have lost my temper, my attitude is the same. You should not have told Mr. Pritchard what you did.
Well, it's just, I just thought
I know what you thought, Fred. You're under a misapprehension. You see, the fact that you and Eunice are no longer in line for a Newton and Ridley house does not affect my plans at all.
It doesn't?
No, certainly not. No, I've made my arrangements with Mr. Pritchard, and I intend to carry them on. Now, tomorrow, I shall be going for a week to Joni's while Mr. Dodds completes the decorations, because the smell of paint is anathema to my chest. But on my return, I shall expect you to have found other accommodation. I'm sure you won't have problems.
Thank you very much.
Morning.
Morning. Thank you.
Why don't you come through the flaming window, Stanley?
Did I get you up?
Did they get me up? You were making enough rotten row to wake the whole of Rosamond Street.
It's not easy handling them letters with my back.
Oh, my heart bleeds for you. Well, come on, give it here.
What?
Your bucket. You weren't thinking of cleaning my windows with that sludge, were
Well,
you?
don't make it too hot, because it gets my hands all red.
Well, come on, empty it.
All right.
You're not taking that mucky mess through my house. There might be something catching in it.
Hey, shouldn't you be at work?
No?
I'll be into the reckless in half an hour.
Oh, well, that's your funeral, isn't it?
Oh, not that redhead. It's criminal what she does to the bacon.
I don't know who's on this one here, and frankly, I don't care, seeing as it's no longer any of my business.
Eh?
I've jacked it in, haven't I? I'm a lady of leisure. At least I was, until you tried to bring the house down round my ears with your flaming ladder.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Oh, you seem to be miles away.
Oh, I was. I was in Malta.
Malta?
That lady's going next week.
Oh, I see.
Isn't it funny? I mean, no matter where you go for your holidays, you always seem to bump into somebody who's just going or just come back from the same place.
I can't say I've noticed.
Oh, it happens to me quite a lot. Anyway, what can I get for you?
I just popped in to pay the papers, as a matter of fact.
It definitely seems like last week, doesn't it?
Well, it was. I paid on Tuesday.
Oh, no. I don't mean the papers, I mean the holiday.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. Do you know, I think that was one of the best holidays I can ever remember.
Yes, it was very pleasant.
I mean, I should hate to think it was the last I'd ever seen in Malta.
Me too, but we do have other things to think about just now, don't we?
Yes, we certainly do. I mean, the papers are due at 3:30, and I've got a delivery due from the wholesalers.
No, I meant the weddings. Ken and Deirdre and the other one. Oh, that reminds me. I might as well take a card for Ken and Deirdre while I'm here.
There. Actually, I was thinking about the royal wedding.
Oh, I think everyone is.
No, I mean, you are still going, aren't you?
Oh, yes, of course I am. Well, you are, aren't you?
I wouldn't miss it for the world. Only, I was thinking perhaps we ought to book the coach ticket. I mean, it's only 3 weeks off, you know.
Yes, I suppose we should.
Well, shall I do it then?
Yes, if you like. You know, I think this one will do very nicely.
You have to be so careful with the words, don't you? With it not being the first time for either of them.
Yeah.
Put it on the table, Fred.
I still reckon Newton and Ridley's might be the best bet. You know, stores, bottling plants, something like that.
After the way they've treated us, you'd be lucky if you got past the front doorstep.
Well, they've gotten out against me, have they, love?
Well, go on, say it. You might as well, because I can hear you thinking it from here. They've nothing against you. It was me who chucked the spanner in the works. I'd hoped we'd heard the last of that.
Well, what do you expect me to say, Eunice? I mean, we'd have been home and dry by now, wouldn't we? A little place of our own somewhere, serving behind our own counter. As it is, we'll be lucky to have a roof over our heads within a week.
And whose fault's that? Who was it that told Mrs. Walker's new cellarman there wasn't a job for him here? Because it certainly wasn't me. It was you who told him to get lost. I may have had something to do with us not getting a pub of our own, but I didn't bring what we'd left crashing down round our ear holes.
Well, look, tearing each other's throats out like this won't get us anywhere, will it?
No, it won't.
What do you think you're on?
I packed it in, haven't I?
Packed you in? Stanley, it's beautiful out there. There's windows screaming for the gentle caress of your leather.
It's me back, isn't it?
Yeah, now you come to mention it, I have noticed you've had trouble getting off the bed in the morning since your Hilda went to Trevor's.
That nothing to do with it. Been giving me chip all day.
Listen, my stomach's been like a blast furnace all morning since 9 o'clock, but I didn't just knock it on the head and come and have me dinner, did I?
But stomachs, backs are different to stomachs. I mean, they're funny things, you know.
Yours is, that's for sure.
Look, I could do myself an injury if I don't look after myself, do I?
You won't need to, Stanley. If your Hilda finds you been skiving behind her back, she'll do it for you.
I'm not skiving. I'm suffering.
Yeah, you and me both. Well, if you think I'm skivvying for you till your regular slave comes back, you got another thing coming.
I can't help it. It's getting up and down them ladders and humping them about. That's what does it.
Stanley, a window cleaner that can't hump ladders. You're about as useless as a chocolate teapot.
You don't think I enjoy it, do you?
Are them pies fresh?
Well, they were still warm at 11:30. Is that fresh enough for you?
I'll have them.
To eat here?
No, I've got my nose bag out in the street. Of course to eat here, you daft apeth.
Well, I'm only asking, aren't I? I mean, why should you spend your dinner hour in here when you can have 5-star nosh of your own for nout?
Ah, well, that's where you're wrong.
Don't tell me you've got the push again.
No, I told that Alma rotten Cedric what she could do with that flaming job. Leaving me all on my Todd, using me like a doormat.
So what are you going to do now?
I would like to have that pie for my dinner if you could bring yourself to part with it.
Have you got hotels lined up?
No, I haven't. But I'll tell you something, before I jump in with both feet again, I'm going to look very carefully where I'm stepping. Very carefully. Oh, chuck us the brown sauce, will you, love?
How's it going, pal?
Coming on. These rooms are deceiving, you know. They're bigger than they look.
Yeah. Fancy a bit of dinner, do you? Steak and kidney pie, mushy peas, taters, drop of gravy?
No time. Got the sandwich upstairs. I've just come to get some paint out of my van.
Oh, suit yourself.
Ah, Squire, it's just the fella I'm looking for. Have you brought them Jobs of Genius? Them paintings of yours?
Well, they're down in the cellar. Unless Fred's using them for beer mats. I'm going to take them back home tonight.
You'll do no such thing.
Where's point of leaving them? There's no chance of being home now, with Mrs. Walker being away.
Ah, well, that's where you're wrong, innit?
Eh?
Did I or did I not tell you to leave it in my capable hands?
You've spoken to her?
Not only have I spoken to her, we got the all clear and all.
Well, she's agreed to it?
Mrs. Walker, the chance of her becoming a patron of the art. You're joking, aren't you? She's chuffed a little mint balls. Now, you nip down there and get them, and we'll get them stuck up. We're losing valuable selling time.
Ah, yeah, Christmas is early this year.
Been buying some new sheets, haven't I?
Worn out t'others already, have you?
How's he been?
About as warm as a fishmonger's slab.
How long's he been doing that?
What's that, love?
Well, he's just helped himself to a large scotch. I've never seen him do that. Well, not during working hours, anyway.
Well, no, he hasn't. Not recently. Perhaps he feels he needs it. And if it makes him smile, who's complaining?
What do you mean, not recently?
Well, not recently, you know.
No. You tell me.
Well, it's all water under the bridge now, isn't it?
What is?
Well, Eunice, it was before he met you. He had a brush with this relief manager that we had in, a bloke by the name of Lewis, Gordon Lewis. I don't know if you've come across him.
No.
You're lucky. Proper little slug. Fred was in the habit of helping himself. Not a lot, just the odd nip. Mrs. Walker didn't mind. The trouble was she was away on her holidays.
And this Lewis didn't like it?
No, him and Fred had a right up and downer.
So what happened?
Well, Fred got suspended. Mind you, it was all sorted out when Mrs. Walker got back.
Suspended?
Hello. I wasn't expecting you.
Oh, yes, and who were you expecting?
Oh, somebody very good looking with dark hair and big brown eyes.
Oh, were you now?
Our Tracy, as it happens. Emily's just gone to pick her up from playgroup. I'm just getting her dinner ready.
All right, well, I'll not keep you.
Oh, I'm not complaining.
No, but I do have work to do. And I just popped in to tell you that Susan's just phoned.
Oh, you're Susan?
Yeah.
I was going to ring her, actually. Did you mention to her about being a bridesmaid?
Yes, I did, and she'd be delighted.
Oh, that's great.
Perhaps you'd ring her about the dress and all that, you know. You could ring her later this afternoon. She'll be in about 5:30.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll ring her while Tracy's here, then she can have a word with her new sister.
Oh, yeah. Has she said any more, you know, about wanting to come with us?
No, she hasn't. I think it's a rotten thing to do to the poor little kid, you know. Just hope she'll forget all about it. I mean, they don't understand, do they? Not of that age. A holiday's a holiday to them.
Well, like I said, I would have been easy either way.
Would have been?
Yeah, we had 24 hours to confirm it, remember? I've booked it.
Oh, well, that's it then, isn't it?
You'll worry about it far more than Tracy will, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. Anyway, I'll have a word with Emily this afternoon. At least she won't be complaining.
You fancy for your dinner, then?
I haven't really thought about it.
Pies look good. Shall I pull a couple of ones out for you?
Perk of the job, is that, Fred?
Of course it is.
Like the scotch you've just knocked back?
Well, yeah, well, what about it?
Pity the brewery don't see it in that way, isn't it?
Now what are you on about?
Why didn't you tell me you'd been suspended?
Suspended? Who told you that? Oh, I know. That flipping Lynch, innit? Oh, yeah, shouting her mouth off. She's got a gob like the Mersey Tunnel there.
I got her to tell me she didn't want to.
Bet she didn't.
Well, go on, I'm waiting. I might as well hear your version.
But now, this relief manager fella, Lewis, right toad he was up and down her. Right little Hitler he was. Suspended me, didn't he? It's all right, though. Mrs. Walker soon marked his card good and proper.
Oh, yes. And he could have marked your cards good and proper for you, couldn't he?
What are you on about?
I'll tell you what I'm on about, Fred. I'm on about the way you've gone on at me, about my bit of bother, when all the time you've been sitting on this.
Now, hang on a minute,
No,
Eunice.
Fred, you hang on a minute. You're the one who's had the nerve to go on about what I'm supposed to have done, something I might have that was never proved. And all the time, you could have had your cards marked before you even set eyes on me.
Well, I didn't, did I? I mean, it never got in the record books, that Eunice. Mrs. Walker smothered it all over.
And that makes it all right, does it? Because it certainly doesn't in my book. And how many more little injustices have you suffered that I know nothing about?
Look, listen,
Oh,
Eunice.
save your breath. I don't expect you to tell me I'm only your wife, aren't I?
Heck, I'll say you are. I've just about had enough of it. If this is married life, I've had a blinking bellyful, I have.
And so have I. Oh, and it's not going to get any better, is it, as long as we're in this place?
Well, there must be somewhere.
The only place I can think of is my old room.
What say your old fellas? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Well, unless you can think of something better, we haven't much choice, have we? Oh, I'll go and see him after dinner.
Listen, you tell me where you can get an original painting of Skilly's lump for £6.
Ah, well, now you've got me there.
I didn't know he had one.
Who?
A lump.
Who?
Skilly.
It's a place, not a fella, Bait.
Oh,
You
what?
must have heard of Skilly's lump.
He's having yon. Anybody that's done a bit of courting round here knows where Skilly's lump is.
Well, they are then. What better way of bringing back fond memories of young love than an original painting?
Oh, no, sorry. Any memories I've got of that place I've spent a lifetime trying to forget.
Hey, you speak for yourself.
What about one of the others? There must be one among that lot that appeals to you.
No, thanks. Not for me. Count me out.
Yeah, count me out. I mean, they're very good, don't they? Very good, but, I mean, well, you know, I'm fixed.
Sorry, mate. I wouldn't mind betting that Van Gogh had the same trouble when he started.
Exactly. Here.
I still think we've priced them a bit on the high side.
What? That's great value, that is. They're an investment for the future paintings, you know. Hedge against inflation. Anyway, the frames must be worth nearly that.
Well, thanks very much. Remind me to do the same for you sometime.
Hey?
Shout in your mouth off to Eunice.
Now, hang on a minute, you, before you start calling the kettle black. For a start, Eunice practically dragged that out of me. I didn't want to tell her. For another thing, I reckon if you'd have had any bottle, you would have told her yourself. Don't you think you've got enough on your plate without keeping secrets like that from each other?
Well, it's got naught to do with you, has it? Like naught's got out to do with you between me and Eunice, so just keep your trap shut in future, will you, Lynch? Shut!
Well, if you can collate paintings by Mrs. Walker's painter and decorator and art exhibition, I suppose there is, yeah.
Oh, I see.
No, they're not bad, actually, to be fair, if you like that sort of thing. Landscapes and all that, you know.
Oh, well, I do. I might pop in then later on.
Oh, yeah, you want to. They've got a very good one of Skilly's Lump.
Oh, I don't think I know that.
No, you wouldn't, love.
Hello, love.
Fred.
How'd you get on?
Could have been better.
But your room, it's still going begging like.
Oh, yes.
Well, what's up then?
Well, it's him, isn't it, me dad? He's not too keen on the idea.
Not too keen.
Well, he didn't say so in so many words. I mean, he didn't have to. He kept going on about overcrowding and how the council don't like it. He's one to talk. He'd have the whole of the United Supporters Club there if it suited him, and no questions asked. Oh, he can be an awkward devil when he wants to be.
So we're back to square one then, eh?
Looks like it. Have you had any luck?
No, not a sniff. Don't worry, something will turn up, though.
Seem to have heard that somewhere before.
Well, this is all very intriguing.
Well, it's not really. It's just something that's not for Trace, is it? As well, not till it's settled, any road.
Oh.
I was just wondering how you fixed for a bit of babysitting.
Well, when did you have in mind?
Well, this is a bit out of the ordinary. It's not just for one night. It's for 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, while me and Ken are away.
On honeymoon, you mean?
Yeah. We were going to take her with us, but, well, we decided against it.
Well, of course, I'll look after her. I'll be delighted to.
Now, look, don't take her on if it's too much for you, because I'm sure my mama'd jump at the chance. It's just, well, with her playgroup being round here and all her friends and... Well, you are a bit special to her, so I just thought I'd ask you first.
I'd love to have her. Honestly, I would.
And it's not interfering with any of your plans?
Well, I was going to London.
Oh, God, you were going to see the royal wedding, weren't you? I'm sorry, Emily. It completely slipped my mind.
Doesn't matter, honestly.
But if you'd rather I asked my mum...
I wouldn't. I can watch the wedding on television. Probably see more of it anyway. And having Tracy with me will make it twice as interesting.
Are you sure?
Honestly.
Oh, thanks a lot, Emily.
Tomorrow evening on Granada, at 7, Years of Lightning considers 1952 and the shadows of power. At 7:30, Hagen and a story called...
Wakey!
Then at 8:30, you're...
Devil, you might as well give me half the tank.
Hey, Stan, that's the answer to all your problems. Well, maybe not all of them, but certainly a good few of them.
If you don't get that thing out of it, it'll be your problem.
Now, is that any way to speak to a mate who's been busting a gut all afternoon to get you back on the road?
What are you on about? Only a sponge?
Oh, yeah, it's only a sponge, but it's no ordinary sponge, is it? It's a sponge on a pole. This gets to the little places that other sponges can't reach.
Hey?
Like windows.
Windows?
No more dumping ladders with this little darling. You don't need 'em, do you?
You're a genius. You're a flaming genius. Looking after your mate.
Well, some of us are like that, Stan.
You get rewarded in heaven.
I was hoping for it a bit sooner than that.
Eh?
Like £9.
9 quid?
That's great value, Dad. I got it straight.
9 flipping quid?
Stanley, you've got to speculate to accumulate. I mean, you'll go round your round like a dose of salt. You'll do it in half the time.
You reckon?
Definitely. Ha!
You should see your faces.
Well, we can't have a dolly with a broken arm, can we?
No.
Hey, I hope you know what you're letting yourself in for. There's a whole box full of them under there.
Oh, well, give me something to do during the long winter evenings.
Yeah. Funny how you get attached to the one doll, though, innit? I had a teddy till I was nearly 18. I had no nose and one ear, and I wouldn't have parted with it for the world. Went mouldy in the end.
Well, this one's got plenty of life left in her yet. There you are, Tracy. Good as new.
Till the next time, eh? Now then, madam, is it past your bedtime?
No.
Oh.
It is, you know. Listen, would you like a biscuit before you clean your teeth?
Yes.
Go on, then. You know where they are. Only one, mind. Carry on like that, you'll have a friend for life.
Oh, I hope I have now.
Of course you have. She loves her dolls, Tracy, though.
It's a mother instinct coming out. You know, perhaps we ought to get her a pet when we get more settled.
A pet? Do you think we'll have enough to cope with Uncle Albert?
Yes, probably, but it doesn't do any harm, you know, giving him something to care for.
Actually, I was hoping she might have something a bit more than a pet to care for.
Like a little brother or sister?
Like a little brother or sister. Oh, it's not just for Tracy, can it be for us as well?
You don't have to convince me, you know.
I don't?
No. I quite fancy the idea of being a daddy again.
I thought you were dead against the idea.
No, I didn't say that. I said I hadn't thought about it, and I hadn't. But now that I have, well, I like the idea. That is, if you're prepared to take the risk.
Eh?
I had twins last time,
Oh.
remember?
Yeah. I think I'll take a chance on that.
I'm a very lucky fella, you know.
I do. I better go and see what Madam's up to.
I think you better have.
Not going? I'm sorry, Mavis. I was looking forward to it as much as you were, but Deirdre's asked me to have Tracy while they're away, and it's not as if you've no one to go with, is it? I mean, Betty's still going.
Well, I've got the tickets now.
Oh, no.
Yes, I went out straight after work and got them. I told you this morning I was going to.
I didn't expect you to book them as quickly as that.
Well, I did.
Well, look, I'm sure if you explain the circumstances, they'll take mine back.
Well, it's all I can do now, isn't it?
Still nothing doing then?
No. I've got a couple of interviews tomorrow, but I'm not looking forward to it that way. If an outcome comes of it, I won't be disappointed, will I?
Well, I suppose that's one way of looking at it, isn't it?
Believe me, love, it's the only way of looking at it, isn't it?
Don't look now. I reckon you might just have cracked it there.
Eh? Oh, plenty been looking, love. Trouble is, no one seems keen to stick their hand in their pocket.
I reckon you could just be on a winner with them two.
Really?
As true as I'm smoking my pipe.
Not everybody's cup of tea, landscapes.
No. I think that one's very good.
Oh, you reckon, do you?
Oh, I do, yes. I mean, we were just saying, whoever painted that had a very perceptive eye, weren't we, Emily?
Yes.
You know a bit about art, do you?
Oh, no, I just know what I like and what I don't like, you know, but I just think that one is very good. Don't you?
Oh, this does happen to be one of my favourites, as it happens.
One of your favourites?
That's right. I painted them.
Oh, you're Mr. Dodds.
That's right.
Oh, I do envy you being able to paint like that. You know, it's something I've always wanted to do, like, to capture in detail, you know. I mean, there's just so much mood and so much atmosphere. In fact, I'm thinking of buying that one.
Where?
I was just thinking.
Oh, Luke, if the price is a bit on the high side, I think we can probably come to some arrangement.
Oh, not at all, no. I think £6 is very fair.
Look, I'll tell you what I'll do. Now, seeing as you're my first customer, you can have it for a £5.
Oh, I couldn't.
£5, or it's not for sale. Well, is it a deal?
It's a deal.
Well, you never said no about going out.
Didn't know I was myself till about half an hour ago. Anyway, I don't fancy stopping in here all night on my own.
Well, you could come and sit in the bar.
No, I'm going out, Fred. A change will do me good.
Oh, way off then.
See an old mate of mine.
An old mate?
Vera Rostron, if you must know. I used to work with her. Satisfied now? Would you like me to draw you a picture?
Hope I haven't spoilt your evening.
Oh, no, not at all. I've really enjoyed talking to you.
But your friend?
Oh, well, Emily wanted to go early anyway. I mean, she really only came because I wanted her to, because I don't like going in pubs on my own, you know.
You know, if you're as keen on painting as you reckon, I can't see why you've never taken it up. I mean, it's not that expensive.
I suppose I've just never had the time.
Wish I had a quid for every time I've heard that excuse and all.
No, I haven't. Honestly, I don't get a lot of time to myself.
Well, you've got time to yourself now.
Yes, I suppose I have.
There's no better time than summer, you know. Light's good. And you get some magnificent sunsets, sunrises and all.
Oh, do you go out a lot then?
Well, most evenings this time of year. I'm never in weekends. Luke, if you're serious about always having wanted to paint, I reckon all you're short of is a little push in the right direction and you'll be away.
Yes, I'm sure you're right.
Only, well, I'm going off myself tomorrow night, as it happens. If you fancy coming with me, I'll be happy to have you along, show you the ropes like.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, well, it's up to you. I'm not trying to twist your arm. It's something that I always say, that if you've an interest in art, you've an interest in life itself. And if you're lucky enough to be blessed with that, why not make the most of it?
All right, then. I will.
Right, Fred, I'm off now. Don't wait up for me, because I've got a key. See you later.
Where's she off to? The Lord Mayor's banquet?
See a mate, she reckons.
Oh, Fred won't be too pleased about that, will he?
Well, he wasn't born yesterday, you know.
Eh?
Well, she did marry him so she could be queen bee of her own pub, didn't she? And now that little dream's been blown sky high. Where does that leave him now?
Hey, it's not breakfast in bed, you know. In fact, there won't be any breakfast at all unless you shift yourself.
I'm coming.
When? They're trying to raise the flaming Titanic.
I was letting you have a lie in.
What time you get in last night, then?
Oh, just in time to stop my glass coach from turning into a pumpkin.
Stop what?
About 12 o'clock. Hey, look at that.
Where'd you get to, then?
Oh, just to Vera Rostron's for a natter.
Vera's?
Yeah, I told you I used to work with her. Hey, wait a minute. You don't think I was out with another fella, do you?
No.
Oh, I should hope not.
What am I supposed to be looking at here, then?
There. Grassington's Brewery. Oh, you remember Vera? She used to bring all her washing round to be dry cleaned until it brought her husband out in
Hey,
a
hang
rush.
on a minute, Eunice. You might have got something here.
Well, it does say someone experienced in all aspects of bar work.
Permanent relief manager. I'll be standing in when I go on holidays and things like that, won't I? Hey, I say a job like this will put me in real good stead for getting a pub of my own.
Well.
I'm going to get round there, see about this. Newton and Ridley's can take a flipping running jump.
The only thing is, they won't know you at Grassington's, will they? Mind you, that could be a blessing in disguise if they're looking for someone with a wife experienced in the trade as well.
What I'll do, I'll get straight round there, present myself on the doorstep, and ask to see the fella in charge.
Well, they can only say no, can't they?
No. They'll probably admire me for my initiative and make me managing director.
Well, fingers crossed. Now, you stop right there, and I'll go and get you some breakfast.
Oh, and Uni,
Yeah?
we're all right, aren't we?
Of course we are.
Oh, yeah, joining us, then.
It's a bit early, isn't it?
It's the best part of the day, before the sun gets up and the rubbish starts ponging.
Have you left us out?
More than you deserve. I thought you might like some health food this morning, like a bit of yoghurt, some nuts and some lemon juice in that.
I don't want that muck.
And then I thought, he won't want that muck.
I don't.
Right, well, I've done you double egg and bacon.
Ah, it's good on you, mate. Ah.
The only thing is, it took you so long to get yourself down here, it's probably swimming in a lake of congealed fat.
I'll sort it out.
Using the window pole today?
Definitely.
Very wise investment, that, you know, Stan. I'll tell you what, if British industry invested in new technology like that, that wouldn't half put a smile on that Keith Jolf's face.
Aye. I'll go and put a light to it.
Right. Oh.
No, you must let me pay for the ticket. I feel bad enough as it is. I was the one who suggested going to London in the first place.
Well, look, let me see if anybody else wants to go first.
All right.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello. Cigarettes?
Yes, last packet, then I'm giving up.
Are you really?
Well, I very much doubt it, but you never know if I say it often enough.
Do you know, I never have smoked, actually. Not even when we were at school and everybody else smoked in the toilets. You know.
Hey, we used to buy them in ones, didn't we?
That's right, yeah. I mean, I sometimes feel a bit guilty, actually, selling them, you know, when I don't smoke myself. But then I sell sweets and chocolates. They're fattening, and look at me, thin as a rake.
And then you sell sexy magazines.
Was there anything else?
No, that's it. We've seen you. Bye.
Bye. Well, I think that was quite uncalled for.
I'm sure she didn't mean anything. I'll take some of those for Tracy. I told Deirdre I'd call.
Right. That's 22. Well, I'm certainly not asking Elsie Tanner to come to the royal wedding with me.
No.
I mean, she probably wouldn't be very keen anyway, would she? She'd probably have something clever to say about that.
Have you got a clean handkerchief?
Got two, haven't I?
Are you sure you shouldn't have telephoned first?
Well, that's the joy of it, innit? I won't be just a name and address. Somebody they won't, you know, they don't know from Adam. I'll be there. They'll have to listen to me, won't they?
Oh, I hope so. I do hope so. Good luck.
I won't need it.
Hey, up. Off on your holidays or what?
Going after another job, aren't I? Eunice will tell you all about it.
Hey! What about your job here? There's only me and thee on this dinner time, love.
Well, I'll be here, Bet, if you're short-handed.
Yeah, Eunice will muck in. You'll be all right.
Yeah, sure, any time.
Relief manager at Grassington's. It was in the paper this morning.
Oh, joining the enemy, eh?
Well, he has to try for what he can now. I mean, we have been given our marching orders here. Mrs. Walker wants us out by the time she gets back.
Very nice of her.
Well, with Fred situated the way he is, I mean, it means a new job as well.
Yeah, but I mean, she's not going to just kick you out on the streets, is she?
I think what she said was she trusted we'd have found alternative accommodation on her return.
Well, I must admit, that does sound like the way she'd say it. But I mean, if you tell her that you tried and you've not managed to fix out up yet...
What, you mean you think she'd change her mind?
Well, it has been known. I know she does look a bit like Captain Bligh, but if you let her see that you know your place and you're deeply humble and grateful to her, she can be as nice as pie. Sometimes for as much as 2 or 3 minutes together.
Thanks, love. I'll bear that in mind.
Of course, I would have liked the full gear. Top hats, morning suits, the lot.
And why not?
Well, why not indeed? That's what I said. I mean, it's only the once, twice, 3 times.
Oh.
Of course, Ken's dead against the idea. I mean, you know what fellas are like when you mention dressing up to them. So, it's everybody in the Sunday best, especially you.
Me?
Yes, we want you to be matron of honour.
Oh.
I mean, if you hadn't been there to look after me and Tracy when we needed it, I don't know what would have happened. You will, won't you?
Of course I will. Thank you.
Good. That's another thing settled.
And mentioning Tracy, I thought she might like these.
Oh, yes, thanks. She'll love them. Actually, it'll help me put her in a good mood to explain to her once and for all that she's not coming on honeymoon with us.
I hope she won't mind having to put up with me
Oh,
instead.
no, she'll love it. It's just that the poor little thing keeps packing a bucket and spade and telling her dolly they're both going to Corfu.
What the heck?
Oh, I see. Do you know, I wondered what you were up to then, Stanley.
Ha! Better than climbing ladders.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie got it for me. For me back.
Did he?
Ah.
Well, I better get on, get something for the dinner before the worker gets back, otherwise... You know what I mean? See ya.
Come out.
Ta-ra.
Of course I'm looking. I'm not the only one looking for a job at the moment, or so I'm told.
Tell you who else is for once. I'll give you a clue. Has recently changed from a frog to a prince, though shows signs of changing back again.
Fred.
Got it in one. Gone after a relief manager's job at Grassington's or something.
Yeah, well, there'll be a lot of people relieved if he gets it, won't there?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Can get used to out. I once had a wart on my little finger. Paid money to get rid of it. Did now but miss it after it had gone.
Very nice of you. Can I have a sweet sherry, please?
Yeah, well, I do have an ulterior motive, to be honest. A lager, please, Bet, and a sherry, sweet.
Right you are. Sweet.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could manage to babysit for us tonight.
Well...
It's just that with Tracy on the one side and Uncle Albert on the other, well, we get more privacy in here than we do in our own homes.
Well, I'd like to, Ken. I would, really. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure whether I'm supposed to be seeing Mavis.
Oh, well, look.
No. That is 94.
All right, thanks, Ben.
Sweetie.
No, we were supposed to be deciding last night about going to the pictures. I mean, going tonight. But then Mavis got talking to that painter, the one who put these... And now I don't know what we're supposed to be doing. Think I'd better have a word with her before I say anything.
Right, yeah, I mean, really, doesn't
No, that's 94, and that little lot makes a fiver.
Thank you.
You want it on the phone?
Oh?
It's Mrs. Walker. Shall I hold court?
Oh, well, if you wouldn't mind, love, ta.
Got a pub of your own lined up yet, then?
No, not yet.
Have to find the right one, I suppose.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, yeah, they're still here. Well, I mean, you'll know that, won't you, with Eunice answering? Oh, I'm sure they're trying. Well, she was only telling me this morning. Yes, Mrs. Walker?
All right, love.
Yeah, I'll remind them. But I'm sure they've not forgotten. Yes, Mrs. Walker.
I'll have a pint, please.
A pint?
And whatever this young man here wants.
Oh, Sarah, I'll have a pint. And may I just say, Eunice, that you're a lot more pleasing to look at behind that bar than that horrible husband of yours.
Thank you.
How's the paint job going?
I'm just putting the second coat on the landing.
Oh, not that. I mean the arty bit, you know. Well, actually, the selling.
Well, there's just been the one.
No. What? You mean you've sold one?
Yeah, I came in here last night, you know, just to see if anyone was showing any interest, like, and yeah, I sold the £6 one.
Great. Hey, I told you, didn't I, with me as your business manager?
Oh, aye.
But quid's in.
Lady called Mavis it was that bought it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you picked the right one there. I mean, art and that sort of thing, I mean, she's always been a bit that way inclined.
Let her have it for a £5, mind.
You are?
Yeah. Seemed a lot, it's 6.
And 92, please.
Oh, thank you.
You know, you're a funny lot, you artists, aren't you?
Are we?
Man, I mean, knocking quids off. I know you got your own view of the world, but I didn't know you were peculiar.
Do I look like a bailiff?
Not really, no.
I have just been on the phone talking to she who must be obeyed.
Annie Walker.
And she's lumbered me, harmless little me, with the job of telling Fred and Eunice that they've got to be out of here by the time she gets back.
Oh, heck.
And that there's no chance she's going to change her mind.
How is she then? Mrs. Walker?
Sounded on top phone.
Shall I stop on here for a bit?
Just as you like,
Because I've nothing else to do.
Coward.
Oh, I'll tell her. I mean, I know I'll have to. I was only telling her this morning that she didn't need to worry. How soft-hearted Annie Walker were.
Hello, you're back again. Yes, I suddenly realised at dinner time when Ken asked me if I could babysit, we never decided anything about tonight, did we? Oh, well, no. You were too engrossed in the affairs of the art world. Oh, Emily, I don't know how you can say that. I really don't. I mean, you left me there. I had to talk to him, hadn't I?
You didn't look as though you needed any encouragement.
Well, I mean, there we were, the three of us, and suddenly you'd gone. Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but now you've brought it up. Right, I'm sorry if I left you alone. Well, it wasn't as if I even knew him. Tonight? Are we going to the pictures or what? Well, no, I can't. Oh, well, Ken will be pleased anyway. Well, you see, I'm going out painting with Morris, you know, the gentleman I so rudely left you alone with last night. Well, yes, I mean, we were talking about painting, and he said he was going out tonight, and did I want to go with him, painting? Well, have a nice time. Well, I'm sorry if you thought we were going out. Oh, well, I don't mind. All that worries me is leaving you alone to talk to him again.
Hey, didn't we do well?
I quite enjoyed it, getting back into the swing of things.
What a flaming waste of time that was.
Oh, lovely, what's the matter?
Hellfire.
You didn't get the job then?
Look, you can't get the first job you go for.
Silly little fellow, weren't he? Daft little moustache. It says there's 25 on the list. 25 on the flipping list.
Oh, love.
It says if you're not called for an interview, it says within a week, it says you haven't got the job.
Well, then.
I won't get that flipping job in a month of flaming Sundays, will I?
You don't know that.
Of course I do. He said it's a job for a younger man. That's what he said, a younger man. I could have wrung his throat. I wished I did now.
Oh, there'll be other jobs.
Yeah, there was other jobs, weren't there? Jobs that I got on my own merit.
Oh, we're back to that again, are we?
What else is there to get back to?
Do you mind if I just have a word before I go?
Look, I'm sorry about this, love.
No, it's not that. It's just that, well, you've had bad news. I might as well give you the rest of the bad news as well.
Go on.
Mrs. Walker honoured us with a phone call while you were away.
So?
So she said I had to remind you to be out of this place by the time she gets back. And if you've got any ideas about soft-soaping her into letting you stay, forget it.
The old bat.
That's all we need.
Any road. If you decide to burn the place down before tonight, you give us a ring. Save me coming in.
Yeah.
No, look who it is, Tracy.
Just a flying visit.
You got something to say to your Auntie Emily?
Thank you for the sweetest, Auntie Emily.
Oh, that's all right, love. And I'm just popping in to say that I can babysit tonight.
Oh, you're not going out then? Ken said
No,
you might
I'm
be.
glad not to be doing, to tell you the truth. I feel as though I've just had the 3rd degree.
Who from?
Oh, this social worker. She's been round just now to see about Len and Rita. You know, about the being foster parents.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I felt as though I was having to sit in judgment, say what I thought about their marriage.
Yeah.
Has to be done, I suppose.
I suppose it has.
Well, Ken said about 8.
Yes, whenever. Actually, just seeing you has reminded me I was going to have a word with Madam here.
Well, I'll leave you to it then.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Tracy.
Bye-bye, Auntie Emily.
See you later, love. Now then, are you listening? Because I want to make a deal with you. I won't come with you on your honeymoon when you get married if you promise not to come with me on mine when I do. Okay?
Sit down.
Oh, well, I was only going to be a minute. It's just that I was watching Stan cleaning his windows this morning.
What, doing his own?
Yeah.
Oh, wonder he's complaining about his profit being down, doing his own flaming windows.
No, it's not that. It was just the thing you was using, like.
Oh, the pole, yeah?
That's it. Well, it struck me as a very nifty idea, and he happened to mention that he'd got it off you, so, well, I was just wondering if you could get us one.
Oh, yeah. Any number you want, mate.
Well, one will do.
The £9, you know.
9? Yeah. Yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah, well, there's direct from the manufacturer. In fact, they're so direct, I don't think he's missed them yet. That sounds like Stanley and the magic pole now, back from his half a day's work.
How long do you think it is before you get us one, then?
Oh, give us a day or two.
Smashing.
Here he is now, fresh as a daisy.
All right, Stan.
I do.
Right, well, I'll straighten up with you as soon as you get it, OK?
Yeah, I'll give you a shout as soon as I get one.
Cheers. See you, Stan.
Are you getting in one of them things and all?
I certainly am, Stanley. And I've got to thank you because it was your expert demonstration this morning that finally swung it. So if you're in the Rovers after, I might run to a half.
You can run to me with £9.
Hey?
The flaming thing, they all want one.
Who does?
Customers. Oh, that's handy, isn't it? Oh, I can do that. Oh, I can do my own windows.
Oh, yeah.
A week of that, I'll have no flipping round left.
Yeah, well, I can see it has got its drawback, Stan.
£9 back.
Now, hang on, Stanley. The £9 was for a new one, wasn't it? I mean, that one of yours is second-hand. Look, I'll tell you what, I'll give you the £5.
I gave you £9. I want £9 back.
Stanley, there's a £5. Now, take it or leave it.
Well, you get the fish and chips in for tea.
Oh, you drive a hard bargain, Stan.
Not a canal, that.
Isn't it?
Not to me. Well, not unless I fall in it. I might say different then. No. When I'm painting, not a canal then. It's patterns of light and shade then.
Yes, I can see what you mean.
Where you look at it. Anyway, see how you get on.
Don't expect to be very good at it, really. I mean, it's just something I've always wanted to try.
But you've got the best reason there is for doing anything, haven't you? Wanting to.
Yes, I suppose I have, haven't I?
And so first thing tomorrow morning, we'll be traipsing the streets, the two of us, looking for digs.
Oh, come on, surely it's not as desperate as all that.
She said she wanted us out of here before she got back.
Supposing you're not.
Well...
Look, love, I'd think twice before you give up your billet here, I'm telling you.
Well, she can't kick you out on the streets, you know.
Look, you might think she did you a favour taking you in the first place, and I suppose you feel guilty now stopping on when you're not wanted. But look, you can't afford to be too particular these days.
But it's Freddie's job, you see.
Well, then in that case, I wouldn't shift. Look, 6 months ago, I wouldn't have given you that advice, but a lot of things have happened since then. They made me change my mind, I'm telling you.
So then I got all tied up in knots trying to tell her what our honeymoon was.
I bet you did.
So eventually I said, look, Tracy, it's like this. Your Auntie Emily's feeling a bit lonely, so she wants you to go and stay with her for a few days. So, of course, she jumped at that. So then I said, oh, but I'm going to be lonely then, aren't I?
Poor kid, never stood a chance.
So while her little brain was trying to figure that one out, I said, I tell you what, I'll go and see Uncle Ken and see if he'll looked after me while you're looking after Auntie Emily.
And she said, yeah.
And not only that, she said it was a very good idea.
Now then, Edward.
I'll just have another pint in there, unless Bert wants another.
Oh, no, Tom, you've just got one, Tom.
Listen, about the window pole.
Oh, yeah.
Only when you left yesterday, I started asking around, you know.
Well, look, I didn't want you to go to no trouble, you know.
Oh, you're all right, personal service. Anyway, I happened to drop on one straight away.
Smashing. Right, well, I'll straighten away now, should I?
Yeah, if you like, yeah.
You'll regret it, whatever it is.
Keep your nose out, Liz. This doesn't concern you.
10, right?
Right, 10. And I'd like some change, please.
Freddie,
What's that, love?
we've just been talking about, well, you know, the mess we're in.
I know that, don't I?
Well, Elsie said we'd be silly to move.
No choice.
Oh, look, as long as you keep Annie Walker happy, what's most important? Your job or her with a long face?
Yeah, but I've already dropped myself in it, haven't I? You know, by saying that I were leaving.
Well, tell her you've changed your mind.
Look, she can't sack you. You've done naught to get sacked for. And the room goes with the job, doesn't it? At least I assume it does.
Well, aye.
Well, then, tell her to get lost. You don't budge.
I wouldn't.
The only trouble is she's got another fella lined up to take my job, hasn't she?
Well, tell her to give him back word, and if she thinks you pulled a flanker, it's just too bad. Fred, you've got to look after number one, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey! Hobby! Go on. Pair of comedians.
Oh, well, I can't say I really blame them.
Let's have a look. Hey. It's not bad. Oh, you've got that lock. Nice.
Oh.
It needs a lot more work, must be admitted. Tell you what, though. My first effort went patch on that.
Oh, you're very kind, but...
Anyway, have you enjoyed it? That's the main thing.
I have. I really have, yes.
Enough to come again?
Oh, yeah, look, I'd love to. I mean, if I'm not getting in your way.
Of course not. Glad of the company.
Well, have you thought
What?
about what they were saying earlier about staying put?
Well, easier said than done, innit?
Not if you've a mind to. Anyway, what's the alternative?
There ain't one, is there?
Precisely.
All right, then. All right. If that's what you want, that's what we'll do.
Stay here?
Yeah.
And you'll tell Mrs. Walker this?
I'm not scared of her. I'm Acres like. I'll just say her. I'm sorry, Mrs. Walker, but I don't care what you think, but me and Eunice are stopping here, and that's that.
I don't know, it doesn't seem 2 minutes since Friday night, does it? It's all the same with weekends, they seem to fly past.
Well, I've done no either. I was going to do a big bake, but I never got round to it.
Oh, we had a right good night on Saturday. We had a good turn on at Club for a Change, a comedian. He were a bit blue, though, but it were a scream. We were only a bit of a kid.
Oh, we went to Rovers as per you. Oh, hey, oh, you never been home?
I've never been to bed.
Why?
Well, I did go to bed, but I couldn't sleep, it was that hot. So I gets up and goes for a walk. That's when I bumped into this woman. She were on her way to Jumping Canal.
Get away, you're having us on.
Hey, as true as I'm sat here.
Well, what did you do?
Well, I talked her into coming back to our house for a cup of tea. That's when I get sort of story, don't I?
What story?
But why she was going to jump in canal?
Well, why was she?
Well, her husband works for this toffee firm. He's away all week. Hey, she could never understand why his clothes always pound of fish and chips. That is till this other woman turned up.
What other woman?
Woman he lives with through a week. She's got a fish shop in Wales or somewhere.
You lying.
It's true. Last time I saw her, she were on her way home to chuck all his clothes out into the street. Anyway, she said it'd be a relief. She can't stand fish and chips.
They're a duckworth.
You don't believe me, do you?
No.
Hey, listen, I live in a very funny area, me. I'm quite normal compared to most of them that live round our way.
You normal? Oh,
Oh, hey up. Dolly daydreams here.
Give over.
Oh, cheer up, love. This is your last week, you know. This time next Monday you'll be in Australia.
Yeah, I know I will.
Perhaps you'd better take her home for a cup of tea, love. Otherwise she'll be jumping in cup. Morning, Mr. Baldwin.
Morning. Everyone turned up, have they?
Everybody except Doreen. Sheila took her husband to the doctor's, I think.
She's always taking me to the doctors. What's wrong with him?
Not a lot. But Doreen likes to mother him, don't she? They've got no kids, have they? Oh, and Frida's late. I expect Sheila dropped off at laundrette again. Do you know she reckons them machines hypnotise her?
You know, I used to think I was just hiring workers, but I'm not. I'm hiring nutters.
Same thing. If we weren't all a bit doolally, we wouldn't be working, would we? Especially for you.
Did you say something, Ivy?
No.
No, I think you get out of life exactly what you put into it. No more, no less.
Oh, you do you?
Yes, I do.
So you reckon if I took up something like, say, basket weaving or something like that, I'd be a lot happier?
Well, very probably, yes. I mean, oh, there's religion.
Religion?
Yes. I mean, you're always hearing of people on the radio, in the newspapers, people whose lives have been completely changed by religion of one sort or another. Oh, and I mean, think of all them happy faces that you see on songs of praise.
Yes, well, I envy them, Avis. Really, I do. But I can't say one verse of Onward Christian Soldiers is going to bring a grin to my gob. Do you? See ya. Hello,
Hey,
kid.
hello.
Did you have a nice holiday?
Fabulous. How are you?
Oh, out of work again.
Oh, no.
Never mind, it could be worse. It could have been midwinter.
Oh, try, love.
Try.
Poor Elsie. There's always something for her.
Well, I'm back. Yes, I can see you are. Are you glad? Oh, I'm ecstatic.
What's the matter with you?
What do you mean?
Well, why are you so, what's that modern expression? Laid back. That's it, laid back.
Am I?
Yeah. I mean, why aren't you worn out and twittering like you normally are when I've been on holiday? Delighted to have me back to sort out the mess you got yourself in.
What mess? You do exaggerate, Rita. I haven't got myself into any sort of mess. I have coped with my usual efficiency and aplomb.
Efficiency and aplomb? You? You've got yourself a fella, haven't you?
No, I haven't got
yes,
a fella.
You
No,
have.
I haven't.
Well, we'll see if I'm right or not. If you've got yourself a fella, you won't be able to keep it a secret 5 minutes.
Rita?
What?
It's all right if I have the afternoon off.
For an assignation?
No.
You liar.
Well, all right then, yes.
Right, now tell me all, or else you won't get this pressie I bought you back from Cornwall.
What is it?
First things first.
Well, it's called Morris.
Morris. I knew a Morris once. Always had a cold.
But he's a painter and decorator.
I knew one of them as well. His eyebrows used to change colour according to colour of paint he was using.
He also paints as well.
Well, I should hope he does if he's a painter and decorator.
No, I mean, he's an artist.
An artist? Mavis, are you sure you can handle an artist? I mean, aren't they a bit, robust in that respect?
I'll tell you one thing I haven't missed this past fortnight.
What?
Your sense of humour. It's pathetic.
If you fall out with me, I won't give you this present.
I'll bet it's clotted cream.
It is. Right, see you at dinner, love.
All right, love.
Hey, what time are you expecting her?
About 12 if she runs through to phone.
Perhaps if you went to the station to pick her up, it might put her in a better mood.
Good idea, I might do that.
If we have to bow and scrape to stop here a bit, it won't kill us, will it?
Yeah, but not too much.
Just till we find somewhere.
If we find somewhere.
We will. Hey, Troll.
Be good, love.
Oh, you're kidding yourselves, you know.
What's that, Hilda?
Well, you can suck up to her as much as you like, but I know Mrs. Walker. Once she's made her mind up about something, she's like a set of clog irons. There's no shifting her. And she's definitely made her mind up about you and Eunice leaving here.
She can't make us leave, Hilda. She can't force us out.
Who said anything about force? She doesn't need to use force, Fred. No, she's got this gift for putting dog on you. You'll feel as though there's a big black cloud following you about, even when she's not in the same room. Nobody can live with that. Nobody.
Oh. Are you happy in your work, Vera?
No.
Well, tell me something. What would make you happy, eh?
Well, you not leaning over my shoulder for a start.
Oh, put you off, do I?
Yeah, you do. And if you stand there much longer, I'm going to put complaints in to the steward. You hear that, Ida? You know, it's not on, Mr. Morgan. That could be constructed as snooping.
I am taking a walk round my own factory, looking at my own machines and watching my own workers. And you call that snooping?
Well, you make us feel uncomfortable.
Oh, I just thought I was taking a friendly interest in your work. Now, how can I win? How can I become that friend and father figure that I've always craved to be?
I'll tell you how. By doubling his wages.
No, Vera, money corrupts friendship. You should be working for me because, well, because you like me. Not for money. Think what a happier place the world would be then.
Oh, aye, for you, because you'd have all brass.
But we would be friends, Vera. Now look at Lynn there. She should be happy.
Yes, Mr. Baldwin.
Yes, new husband, new life in Australia.
Yes, Mr. Baldwin.
Yes, but until then you're working for me. So sew those pockets on straighter, will you? Well, don't just sit there, get on with it. Now, what's going on now?
See, I said you'd go and upset somebody snooping about.
I hardly spoke to her.
Well, I'm putting a complaint in. I am. It's intimidation. Management intimidation.
Oh, come on, Vera. Now, you know Lynn's been in a state for the last few weeks.
Ida, sort it out, will you?
Don't worry, I will.
We're not machines, you know. We're human beings.
You know, I thought that Lynn would be full of the joys of spring and all that, getting married.
She is.
She has just run out of here, blubbering her eyes out.
Because she's also scared to flipping death and all, isn't she, poor kid? I mean, her life's turning topsy-turvy. What do you expect?
Yeah, but I bet her husband-to-be is jumping around happy as a lark.
Yes, that's the difference, isn't it?
Yes. Do you know something? I've been thinking about getting a resident psychiatrist in here. A shrink. Yeah. I've been thinking about it for some time now.
Thank you very much. Oh. I don't know what you're looking at.
The lengths you'll go
What
to.
do you mean, the lengths I'll go to? To do what?
To get yourself a fella.
Oh, Rita, give it a rest.
Going off painting with him. You can no more paint than I can.
I can. I was very good at art at school. I was.
Can you do a tree?
Yes, I can do a tree.
Can you do horse?
Yes, I can do a horse as well.
Well, I'd like to see the horse you draw. It'd look like a boiler on stilts.
Look, you can tell I'm artistic by the length of my fingers.
And I bet if Morris was a pork butcher, you'd be going round sticking pigs.
Ooh, you can be jealous, can't you? Do you know it spoils you, does that, jealousy?
Me? Jealous? Just 'cause you got yourself a lightning decorator who thinks he's Picasso? Ah.
Oh, hello, Morris.
Hello.
This is Mrs. Fairclough. She's just back from holiday.
Oh, how do you do, Morris? Pleased to meet you. Mavis has told me a lot about you. All of it good, I might add.
Has she now?
I believe you paint.
I do a bit.
Oh.
That's why I've called in Mavis, just to see if she's still coming this afternoon.
Oh, yes, of course I am. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, day couldn't be better. We should get 3 or 4 hours in.
Oh, good.
Well, I'll pick you up about 12:30 then.
All right.
Ta-ra.
Try.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, Morris, shall I bring some food, you know, sandwiches or something?
Oh, if you like. Always make room for a sandwich.
So that's Morris?
Yes.
That you go painting with?
Yes.
Well, he don't look like a painter to me.
Oh, well, he is, and he's a very good one.
So when he said you could get 3 or 4 hours in, he meant painting?
Yes!
Only asking, that's all.
Of course, you know what Ruskin said about art, don't you?
No, go on, surprise us.
Well, he said it is the expression of one soul talking to another. That's what Ruskin said.
How do you know that, Eddie?
What you mean is how come a big fat ignorant bird like me can quote Ruskin?
I never said that. Who is this Ruskin, anyway?
Don't look at me.
Was Betty. He's dead. Well, I think he is. I mean, most people that get quoted usually are, aren't they?
Well, all right, who was he then?
Well, I don't know, do I?
Well, how can you quote what he said when you don't even know who it was?
Well, that's a good question, that, Betty. The point is that I've got a lot of useless information stored up here, you see. And the trouble is that it doesn't amount to much. You see, if I'd have concentrated perhaps on one subject, like, well, like mathematics or something like that, I reckon I could have been another Epstein, you know.
That's why you're still working on the dustbins.
Yeah, well, that's life putting in the concrete welly in the house.
None of them sayings of Ruskin's.
No, that was Pongo Harcourt. He was doing 4 years at Walton for training hamsters to raid officery boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Mrs. Walker. How was Monte Carlo this year? Well, how was the plastic surgery clinic then? Closed by the look of it.
Welcome home, Mrs. Walker. That's what you call it? What did she say?
Now, that's the first time she's spoken all day.
Well, I told you she wouldn't be pleased. I warned him, you know. I said she'd freeze them out.
Oh, don't start to make things worse than they are, Hilda. She's back, I hear.
I've just put her cases in her room.
Well, what did she say?
Now, just got out of the station and looked at me. Got in the car and never said a dicky bird.
Well, where is she now?
She's in there now.
Well, let's leave her to stew in her own juice. If she's not talking to us, she can hardly tell us to leave, can she?
Well, that's true enough.
So let's leave it at that, shall we?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Could I have a word with you both, please?
Well, don't let her bully you, Fred. What did you want, Mrs. Walker?
Perhaps it is my fault.
What's that, Mrs. Walker?
Perhaps I didn't make it clear before I went away. Make it clear that I expected you to be gone when I came back. Well, now, did I make it clear or didn't I?
Well, you see, that's it, Miss. We just can't find
So
anywhere to
I
go.
did make it clear, so why haven't you gone?
Well, as I said, Mrs. Walker, we just can't find anywhere.
That's
you
not
know.
good enough, you know, Fred. You know that Mr. Pritchard is coming here to take over your job. He can't wait forever. Now, where will it leave me? If Mr. Pritchard gets another job and then you suddenly decide you want to go out on a limb, that's where it will leave me.
But we've looked everywhere, Mrs. Walker, haven't we,
Look,
Eunice?
I have been more than accommodating. You can't deny that. How long is it since you were married? 2 months. This isn't a hotel, Fred. Out there is the public part. Here is my home.
Well, I know, Mrs. Walker, but I mean...
Now, I know you've had your problems. Still have, in fact. But they've been none of my making now, have they?
Well, no.
2 months, you say? Pardon? 2 months we've been here.
Well, about that, yes.
And what about all those years?
I don't think I know what you mean.
All those years that Fred's worked here, behind the bar, in the cellar, chauffeuring, as well as being the man about the house.
I hope you're not suggesting...
Don't be ridiculous. What I mean is he's been here 24 hours a day, part of the furniture. And now you want to throw him out on the street and me with him.
I have given him adequate notice, and you. Is that not right, Fred?
But it isn't adequate. Adequate would be until we find somewhere else to live. Well, I think that's the least you can do, considering all Fred's done for you. Well, don't you agree, Fred?
Well, I've done a lot of work, Mrs. Walker, put a lot of hours in.
I'm not disputing that.
Well, I don't see how you can. So if you don't mind, we'll just stay here until we find somewhere else. We'll try and not get in your way. Come on, Fred.
This is intolerable. Absolutely intolerable. I will not stand for it. Not for a moment.
I'll have to get yourself a better pencil.
Oh, yes, when I'm as expert as you are. No, this is fine for now, while I'm just feeling my way, you know, seeing if I'm any good or not.
Just look at that. Now, you're not telling me there wasn't a divine hand involved there?
It is glorious.
This'll be the 4th time I've painted it. I've not got it just right yet. Right. Let's see if we can make this fellow constable turn green in his grave.
I'll be lucky.
Don't say that. Tell yourself it's going to be a masterpiece.
You are going to be a masterpiece.
That's better.
Oh, it really is lovely.
There are places up in Scotland that leave you feeling insignificant, very humble. I'll show you 1 or 2 of them one day if you like.
That would be nice.
Listen, gentlemen, I'm telling you, you're missing out if you don't buy one of them paintings. From me, of course, as the artist's sole representative in this country.
Well, I'll tell you what, Eddie. For every one of those paintings that you buy, personally, I'll buy 2. I can't be fairer than that.
Yeah, I'll match that. I'm not buying them, I'm selling them. Rolls-Royce don't buy their own cars, do they? They sell them to lords and emirs and that sort of thing. Well, I'm selling paintings.
Yeah, but the difference is that Rolls can sell their cars. You can't sell those paintings. At least not to me, anyway.
Nor me.
See ya.
I should have known 2 blokes who sell sugar and make jeans for a living wouldn't appreciate art. Look.
Right, I reckon you've got 5.5 minutes to get back over there. And if you're late, I'll dock you half a day's pay.
Hey, you doing what's a carcass to Europe?
Look at her.
3 gins and she's still like death warmed up.
Do you know, always does make me feel depressed.
Oh, we should have told us before we lashed out on you.
I don't understand you, you know. If I were going to Australia next week, well, if I were going anywhere, I'd be over at Moon.
Over at Moon?
Well, you could have phoned me.
It's just what, love? Well, supposing we don't get on, Steve and me. We're all that way from home to the side of the world. It's possible.
But you love him, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
Well, look, love, you just put your trust in that.
Oh, it's an adventure. It's a new life. Something none of us have ever had chance of.
Hey, and listen, kid, if you wake up one morning and you find you can't stand sight of him, you can always get a plane back. They're unlike buses from over there.
That's another thing I don't like, flying.
Oh, God. Come on. I won't put it past Baldy to stop us a day. Never mind half of one.
Where's Fred? Put it down the cellar. Best place for it. When he surfaces, dear, will you pop into my living room for a minute? Well, I say my living room, but of course that was before the army of occupation.
Mrs. Walker, you being a patron of the arts, like what you obviously are, I mean, you did let Mr. Dodds exhibit his work here. I was just wondering, like, if you'd like to be a collector as well and perhaps buy one of the paintings.
Why not, Mr. Yates? I need a little beauty and light in my life. Yes, I'll have that one, Twilight. I've admired it since I first saw it.
Yeah, you see, got another commission, haven't I? I think I've got a whole new career opening up to me. Wonder if that's David Dockey's got an agent.
Hey, Betty,
Well,
is there something wrong here? I mean, Annie seemed a bit fraught.
Oh, don't ask me, love. Ask Fred. I have been summoned to a powwow.
Miss Walker, I suppose you know the situation here with Fred and his wife? Well, they didn't mention what they'd said. Well, Fred did. I can't believe it, Elizabeth. They're refusing to leave. Well, she is. She's obviously putting them up to it. Seeing another side of Eunice now, aren't we? Where's that simpering little lovebird now? Well, it won't be forever. They might find somewhere sooner than you think. How long they stay is immaterial. It is the fact that they're staying here without my permission. It's like having squatters in the home. Squatters! Oh, now don't go upsetting yourself, Mrs. Walker. I just feel I can't cope anymore. Every day somebody or other seems to be trampling on my values, and now even my own home isn't sacred anymore. Something will turn up, you see. Yes, but it might not. I could be saddled with them for the rest of my life, like a couple of St. Bernard dogs.
All right, love. I can't get her to come out. She says she's all right. I think she's just having a bit of a mood.
Having a crafty fag, more like.
Do you know, I've been thinking.
Oh, and I thought you were sickening for something.
Well, she might feel better about leaving. You know, if we give her a bit of a do, a bit of an ease-up like, instead of sending her off clutching a travelling bag.
What, in here?
Well, at Midland, if you like.
Hey, I don't think Mr. Baldwin will like that.
Oh, we won't tell him then.
But then he gets on to me, Vera.
Sometimes, Ivy, love, you have to be on our side, not the management's, or else you really aren't boss's stooge, aren't you?
I didn't like that remark. I'm nobody's flaming stooge. Not Mr. Baldwin's and certainly not yours.
Hey, cut it out, you two. I think it's a good idea, give Kid a bit of a do.
Yes, it
Give her something to remember, because she's going to need it.
Why is it I get the impression that life's one long cup of tea round here?
The yours coming when we're having one.
Perhaps that's because you're always drinking it.
Or it could be that you're a bit of a tea belly yourself.
I thought you'd never ask, Ivy.
Oh, come on, I'll make you one.
Mr. Baldwin, we've collected £15 for youngling's leaving present.
Yeah.
Good, good.
And you say you double whatever we got.
Did I? Well, I don't remember saying that.
Well, you've a lot on your mind, haven't you? A lot of responsibilities. But you definitely said it, didn't you, Ida?
Oh, aye.
Yeah, didn't you, lasses?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Oh, well, if that's what I said, that's what I do. Because that's the sort of fella I am, see? Generous to a fault.
Oh, thanks very much.
Hey, did you really say that?
No, but somebody has to pay for knees up, don't they?
Oh, it doesn't look anything like the sketch I made.
Well, it's not bad for a beginner. You know what your trouble is, don't you? You're too self-critical by art.
Oh, don't I know it? I mean, it's all wishy-washy as well.
Now, that's another thing. Paint as though you mean it. You want to be more bold.
Bold? Me?
Painting gives you a chance to be. The paintbrush won't bite you, you know, if you're firm with it. Well, you can express yourself in a painting, where you might feel daft doing it anywhere else. You can strut a bit.
Strut? I hadn't thought of it like that.
Mind you, you can go too far. Like trying to make a fool of nature. Blobs instead of shapes, that sort of thing.
But that can be very effective sometimes.
Now, which would give you most pleasure? Painting, well, that tree there, just as a blob as a real living tree.
But it would be easier for me to paint it as a blob.
Not when I've finished with you, won't be.
It's a passion with you, isn't it, painting?
Well, there's no law against it, is there?
Oh, no, no. I like people who are interested in things because it makes them interesting. Have you ever painted anything else besides landscapes?
Well, I've tried still life. The odd bowl of fruit, you know. But with the landscapes, I can kill two birds with one stone. I enjoy the countryside as well.
Have you ever been to art classes?
I've never had a lesson in my life.
Oh, so you won't have done any figure drawing and that, then?
No. No, I wouldn't mind having a bash. I think that's one of my weaknesses, anatomy. I wouldn't mind trying my hand at a nude.
Well, why don't you?
Because I don't know any nudes, love. Why? You're not offering to pose for me, are you? Because if you are, I'll take you up any time. Any more of these sandwiches left, love?
At last.
Morning, Mrs. Walker. You're up early?
I have been up a good 20 minutes waiting to use my own bathroom.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Walker. I was having a shave. Eunice is in there at the moment. I don't think she'll be long, though. Shall I make us a nice pot of tea?
Hey, Olive, 22 change. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Ta.
Tea up.
Oh, good girl. Ta.
Rita?
Yeah?
Oh, while we're quiet, I wondered if you'd like to have a look at my picture. You know, the painting I've been doing.
Ah, go on, let's have a scan.
Oh, good. I was hoping you'd say yes. That's why I brought it down. You don't mind, do you? I mean, well, you don't have to pretend, you know, if you think it's awful. Well, I'm getting right keen on it. I wish I'd started it years ago. Oh, it's boring for you, this, isn't it?
Oh, come on, let's have a look. Hey, that's very good.
Well, what do you think?
I've just said, it's very good.
Yeah, but can you tell what it's supposed to be?
Of course I can. You know, that's really very nice, Mavis.
Well, you needn't sound so surprised. Actually, I'm fairly pleased with it myself. And Morris is ever so encouraging. He's quite taken with it.
Does he fancy you?
Pardon?
Is he trying to pull you?
Oh, honestly, Rita, you don't you think there was only one possible relationship between a woman and a man?
No, I don't think there's only one, but it's definitely the most interesting.
Yes, well, you would think that, but I personally happen to think that you can have a very rewarding relationship with a man on a more intellectual level.
And that's what you get with this painter and decorator palette?
Yes, it is. I mean, if you can understand that, you see, well, it's a very intelligent person, and it's ever so interesting to talk to. Oh, I think it'd have made a right good teacher.
Well, so long as it keeps you happy.
Oh, do you know, I wish I'd taken it up years ago. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, it somehow makes you look at things differently.
Does it?
Yeah, you know, of scenes and buildings and things like that. I look at them quite different now. I can see how they're sort of joined together. And people. For instance, now I see you more as an arrangement of colours.
Ah.
Yeah. Actually, Morris wants to paint me. Said he thinks I'd make a good model, and well, he's never had a chance to paint the nude form from life before.
He never wants to paint me in the nude.
Well, yes, he did more or less say that.
Well, either he's kidding you or you're kidding me.
Well, I don't see why you should find it so extraordinary.
Oh, come on, Mavis. I mean, speaking as a friend, you're hardly a pin-up girl, are you?
You see, Rita, you just don't understand about painting. I mean, when an artist looks at a person's body, well, he's not interested in seeing it as a playmate of the month.
That's what you think. Anyway, you told him where to get off.
No, I didn't, as a matter of fact.
Now, look, Mavis, you know and I know you're not the type to take your clothes off for a fella. Even if you went and got wed, I don't think you'd take them off for your husband. Unless he were a doctor. Even then, you'd want all lights on.
Hey, I don't know. You've got two speeds today, you lot. Slow and flipping stop.
Do you know it's like being a slave in one of these big rowing boats? Us heaving on oars, then you crack it flaming whip.
Galleys.
Galleys, that's what it's like in here.
Come on, I'm dead easy going compared to some lady.
You easy going? That's a laugh.
Fair dues, I am, Ida. I mean, as long as you're doing enough to keep Baldwin happy, I'm happy.
Fred, fair I think it would suit Baldwin.
Why not?
I've sewed the flies up.
Hey, up.
How's it going?
Not bad, Mr. Baldwin.
Well, it could have fooled me. When I walked in here, I thought I was in the wrong place. I thought I was in Madame Tussauds on a quiet day.
Chamber of Horrors now, you're here.
You say something, Vera?
Me? No, well, I was just saying, like, we're all a bit keyed up with it being Lynn's last day, you know.
Oh, yeah, you're leaving tonight, aren't you? Well, a few more of them will be leaving with you if they don't buck their ideas up. Now, get them at it.
Oh, he's a big head.
He's all talk.
Don't you kid yourself, Vera. He's as hard as nails if it suits him, so don't forget it.
Any road, I don't care what he says. I think we ought to give her a bit of a do this afternoon.
Yeah, well, you have to do, don't you, when somebody's leaving?
Still not sure if I'm doing the right thing.
Oh, give over. A nice young lad like Steve, you're going to Australia. I'll tell you what, if you change your mind, I'll have him. Do you think he'd take me to Australia?
I wish somebody would, Vera.
It's just I keep thinking we're going a long way. Long way from my mum.
Aye, he's not daft your Steve, is he?
Oh, come on, Ivy. Are we going to give her a bit of a do this afternoon?
Oh, all right, stop your mouth and we'll give her a bit of a do. By the way, love, we've got your leaving present here, haven't we, Vera?
Oh, aye. Hey, it'll come in dead handy in Australia. It's a kangaroo peeler.
Listen, don't you take no notice, love. No, what it is, it's, with you going to be a newlywed. You know, we've got your Steve a bottle of iron pills.
Oh, hey, and they say I'm rude. Oh.
Do you care for a Battenberg, Elizabeth?
Oh, I won't, thanks all the same. I don't think I dare with this tooth of mine.
Oh, dear, is it still troubling you?
Yeah, it keeps nagging, you know. Perhaps I better go to the dentist and let him take it out and I'm done with it.
Oh, no, dear, no. I should think twice before you do that. I mean, once you've lost it forever. No, if your dentist thinks he could save it, I should soldier on.
Yeah. Yes, perhaps you're right. You haven't got an aspirin, though, have you?
Yes, I have. Hope it doesn't mean you want to go home, love.
No, I don't think so, Mrs. Walker.
Only you see, with Beck being away, I'm not very happy about being completely dependent on Fred just at the moment. There you are, love.
Thank you, dear.
Might take a couple of those myself.
One of your headaches, Mrs. Walker?
Oh, I can feel it hovering.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ta-ra.
Bye.
Oh, baby.
Oh, hello.
A bit of a rush. When do you fancy making a start on the porch?
Oh, well, I hadn't really thought.
Well, your place or mine, whichever you like, doesn't matter either way. Well, see you later then, eh? Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Mavis Riley.
What do you mean, oh, Mavis Riley?
You know very well what I mean.
Oh, no, I don't.
You're getting yourself into something there, lady. You're not cut out for goings on like
Look,
this.
there aren't any goings-on. It's just a question of art. That's all Morris is interested in.
Well, he's not flipping Lowry, you know. He's a painter and decorator.
That has nothing to do with it. He happens to be an artist as well.
Well, you please yourself, lady. For a decorator's the last bloke you want painting you. If you take your clothes off for him, he'll probably give you a rub down with sandpaper and 2 quick coats of emulsion.
A light bottle, please.
Well, like what, Hilda?
Yeah.
Oh, I met an old friend of yours last night, Hilda. Hazel Harmison.
Hey, Hazel Armisen. Well, I've not seen her for donkey's years. Used to sit next to me at the infants' class in school, you know. And I always remember she had this skipping rope. Wasn't just an ordinary bit of rope, you know, it was a real proper one with wooden handles and that. Oh, I'll never forget it.
You know, Hilda, it's hard to visualise you as a band.
Oh, I can, definitely. And do you know what, Hilda? You've still got that little girl charm.
What's that?
It's funny how nippers turn out, though, isn't it? I mean, you look at them in the pramp, little angels, adorable. We were all like that once, you know. Oh, except Fred, he's always been horrible.
Oh, give over, Yates.
I bet Fred was a little chirrup. Well, they all were. Even Hitler was somebody's darling once, you know, lying there gurgling and dribbling. Makes you think, though, when you look at him in the pram. I look at a kiddie sometimes, I think he might be a mad strangler when he grows up.
Oh, hey, I think that's morbid.
Well, it's true. Hello there, Mrs. Walker.
Hello, I've come to finish my son's room, I hope.
Sorry, but I've just popped in to tell you that we're still waiting for that special wallpaper you wanted. Probably be a few days yet.
Oh, dear.
Well, if you want to change your mind, I mean, we can scrub the order. There's some very nice wallpapers in stock.
No, I prefer to wait for the one I chose, if wait I must.
Oh, suits me, Mrs. Walker. I have another job I can be going on with. Well, as long as I'm here, I'll have one of your pies, please.
How's Morris, then? OK, mate. Do you know, it does my heart good to see an artist who can treat himself to pies and pints. I've got a feeling I might be shifting one or two more of your paintings and all.
Somebody else interested in buying then?
You stick with me. You'll never have to cut your hair off for a butty while I'm around.
25 pence, please.
Oh, and a pint for Eddie, please, Mrs. Walker.
Oh, cheers, mate. Cheers. I'll tell you what, we'll call it me commission, like, eh? I mean, like that painting I sold to Mrs. Walker. I helped you see the finer points in that picture, didn't I, Mrs. Walker?
I bought that painting in spite of your salesmanship, Mr. Yates, not because of it.
Lola, I brought you some fish and chips for our dinner. Can you eat them now or what?
Oh, yeah. Mrs. Walker, is it all right if I take my dinner break now?
Yes.
Right, well, follow you.
And now, my living room is going to smell like a fish and chip shop for the next few days. Really, it's too much, Elizabeth.
Well, it's hard to know what to do about it, Mrs. Walker.
I'm at the end of my tether. She had no one to turn to.
It'd be different, wouldn't it, if your Billy was here?
Exactly what I've been thinking. I have been thinking that all morning. Hmm. $793? Oh, good.
Freddie,
Could I speak to
I'm
Mr.
just
Walker,
going
please?
to wash my hands.
It's his mother. Hello, Billy. Just a moment, dear. Oh, Billy. You don't know what I'm going through, dear.
Can I have my fags, please? Love them little ones.
How's the job hunting going?
Oh, lousy. It doesn't exactly say I'm too old. It's right to be very tactful, but I get a very strong impression they think I'm an old friend of Queen Victoria's.
Hey, well, never mind. This'll butt you up. Guess who's going to pose in the nude to have a portrait painted?
Someone round here?
Oh, you'll never guess in a million years.
Bet Lynch. Bet Lynch.
No, but it's her sort of thing.
Ah, yeah. Well, she's a bit too long in the tooth for that. Hey, it's not her from Chapel Yard, is it? They call her, Juicy Lucy. Gets up to all sorts of things, she does.
No. I'll give you a clue.
Oh, Rita. As a matter of fact, Elsie, it's me.
You're a right scream, you two, when you get together. Go on, give us a clue.
You just heard her.
You're having me on.
No, as a matter of fact, I have been asked to model. But there's nothing rude about it. It's for an artist.
She's a painter and decorator.
Well, he happens to be a genuine artist. He's very sincere, and I think he's quite talented.
Yes, I think he's very talented in one way, getting his girlfriend's clothes off.
Exactly.
Oh, honestly, Elsie, I expected a low view from Rita, but I thought you might be more sophisticated about these things. I mean, it's all a question of art. It's not what you think.
I tell you what, I like the sound of this pal of yours. Go on, kid, enjoy yourself. You have a good time.
It's hopeless. People around here, they're all Philistines. Well, I expect everybody's going to think what you think, so I'm not sure I can go through with it now.
Of course you can, love. You just have to grin and bear it. Hey, grin and bear it. Girls have been working well all day. Do you know, they've gone great this afternoon.
So?
Nothing, just saying they've worked well.
Good. That's what they're paid to do, isn't it? Bye. Keep at it.
I think we've seen last of him today. You ready?
What? Don't ask me.
Oh, he'll not come back. I reckon he's slung his up.
Penny Road, it's turn 5. Right, knock off, lassies.
Hey, hold on a minute, Vera. Who do you think you are?
I'm in charge. Hark at Bruce Forsyth.
Oh, come on, Ivy. We've got to give her a proper send-off. It's only the same as all other works round here.
Oh, damn it. Of course we'll give her a send-off. It's party time.
Right, Lynn, you've stolen your last 3 hours of Lego. You're liberated.
Aye, only till you get wed.
Well, right. Get this down here. Wait a minute.
What is it?
Vino mucho buzo. Look, get it sucked and stop looking so miserable.
Hey, you're not getting second thoughts about Steve again, are you?
Am I, heck? He's smashing.
I wish I'd have had second thoughts. I never had first thoughts with our Jack. I just wanted to get wed and he was handy. Mind you, he's never been handy since.
Anyway, cheers, Lynn. Here's all you wish yourself, love.
Cheers.
Hey, Ivy, where's presents?
Oh, aye. Let's sit here, Vera.
Oh, aye.
Right, lasses. Have you all got something to drink?
Yeah.
Because we've got to say goodbye to little Lynn. Yeah. She's been a smashing little pal. Now she's leaving us. We're going to miss her, aren't we?
Yeah.
But we want to wish her all the best when she weds Steve, and then when They make a life for themselves in Australia. So, right, raise your glasses. Or whatever else you've got.
Cheers.
And drink with me till in.
Hey, and Steve.
Oh, yes, Steve and Lee.
Steve and Lee.
Oh, anyway, love, we've had a whip round, and I'll be honest, we couldn't think what to get you at first.
No, I thought of a three-piece suite, just down payment like. They'd have never found her in Australia, would they?
Anyway, love, we thought that Steve would get as much pleasure out of that as you.
Oh, thanks very much.
Oh, try on.
Put
Try
it
on.
Come in. Back, Mrs. Walker.
So I see.
Has there been any phone calls out for me?
Nope.
I just wondered if Eunice had rung from work out, you know.
No.
Well, there's 10 minutes to opening. Shall I make a nice pot of tea?
Come in and shut the door.
Yes, Mr. Walker.
Sit down, Fred. Billy telephoned from Jersey today, and he's coming home from a while.
Oh, it'll be nice for you. I've been looking forward to seeing him again.
Yes, indeed. But of course, the trouble is accommodation.
Oh, how's that, Mrs. Walker?
Well, as you know, Billy's room is absolutely uninhabitable at the moment. The decorators made it into a shambles, and now I have to wait for the new wallpaper.
Oh, I don't suppose that'll be so long, Mrs.
Yes,
Walker,
that
will
says
it?
maybe, but in the meantime, Fred, the room is out of commission. So, where do I put Billy? I must find a room for him, and I'm afraid it's going to be yours.
I see.
I can't ask my son to sleep on the living room floor.
Well, no, of course you can't, Mrs. Walker.
Well, I hope you realise, Fred, when Billy arrives, he must have a room, and that means that you and Mrs. G must go.
Anyway, good out, Flynn. All the best. Hey, I'll tell you what, kid. Do that thing with you.
Yeah,
you
go
know,
on.
That, you know, that.
Oh, no.
Go on.
Oh, I mean, I was stood standing here, waiting for my friend, and I saw these two.
Go on.
Jam. Oh. What's this? Workers' playtime?
Oh, hello, boss. Hey, just in time for the drink.
What's going on? This is working hours. There's 10 minutes left of knocking off time. Now, what's your game?
Oh, come on, Mr. Warwick. Well, it's Little Lynn's leaving.
Well, I know that. I make her wages up, same as I do everybody else's, don't I? Right, next week, you're all going to be knocked half an hour.
Oh,
that's not fair. We've got to give lass a bit of a send-off.
It's tradition round here. I mean, having a bit of a do.
And they've all worked dead hard earlier on to make up for it, like.
Come on. Oh, listen, get that inside you. You'll feel a lot different then.
Come on, Mr. Bond, don't be a spoiled sport. You don't get married every day. Come on.
All right, all right. Here's to you, love. We'll miss you. You've been a good little worker.
Thanks, Mr. Baldwin.
You didn't tell us you were a good little worker before you knew you were leaving, did you?
Of course not. No good spoiling people, is there?
Oh, right, Lindy Lou. It's good and proper time to get you dressed up.
Hey, right, let's be having you, lad. Get this off.
God blimey, Anna. Sometimes I feel like swords of the flipping river up here. You're a lost tribe, you lot. Do you know that?
We know.
Have you thought about the pose at all?
Well, I've thought of very little else.
Oh, good, because you want to be comfortable, won't you? I mean, you're going to be holding that pose for hours.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that aspect of it.
Still, we'll think of a pose that'll be comfortable for you. Well, feel like making a start?
What? Do you mean now, this evening?
Of course, if you've got something on.
Oh, well, yes, I have actually this evening. See, I've made plans.
Oh, well, then tomorrow then. That'll be fine for me.
Yes,
Somebody's happy, Andy. What's going on?
One of the girls is leaving.
Oh, I wish they'd leave off. I could do without all this caterwauling tonight. My tooth's giving me jip.
You want to go to the dentist?
Lovely, I've been twice.
Well, he must be fiddling with the wrong tooth. I mean, he's probably got what they call in the profession tooth blindness. They get it from looking at choppers all day long, you know. You should only go to the dentist first thing in the morning, before they get all, like, bemused and all that.
You're a right bit of comfort, you are, aren't you?
All right, girls, come on, simmer down. Now, what you having?
Right, a bottle of port for Lady Lynn and some glasses.
One bottle of port, one...
Yeah, well, get a few girls.
Lynn?
Yeah, getting married next week. Then we're going to live in Australia.
Well, the best of blessings to you, kid. I'll tell you something. I mean, I can tell you this now that you're leaving, but I've always fancied you, you know. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Honest?
Yeah. Quite strong, really. I don't know why, it's just how.
Well, you should have spoke up, Eddie. Because I've always fancied you.
That's straight.
Yeah. I'm a bit kinky like that. Anyway, too late now, isn't it? Just have to be one of them mighty bins. A beautiful dream.
Hey, Alan, here's your bottle.
Oh, Ta. What a shame, eh, kid? We could have made wonderful music together.
Just my flipping luck, innit?
Great sense of humour, that girl.
Oh, she wasn't joking, you know. She meant it all right.
Oh, come off, you're pulling your leg.
Oh, she made it sound like that, I'll give you that. But I mean, that was just a cover so she didn't reveal the hate and the regret underneath.
Is that right? Well, you know, Prince Charles really wanted to marry me, but because I went to Fairclough, it can never be.
Oh, you scoff all you want. But that girl is crying inside over missing her chance with me.
What's new then, Elsie?
Oh, blisters bad. I feel in my feet. I've been traipsing around after jobs that aren't there all afternoon.
Bad as that, is it?
You know damn well it's as bad as that. Any jobs going at your place?
No, sorry.
Well, what about this girl that's just leaving? Isn't there a place vacant left by her?
Yeah, but that's just a machinist job.
I want it.
Now, hang on a minute.
Now, look, is there a job going or isn't there?
Well, I haven't filled a vacancy yet, no.
Oh, there's bound to be a vacancy and I'll have it.
No, it's only a machinist job, and anyway, it needs someone that's used to the job.
Well, I was good enough to be their supervisor, wasn't I?
Yeah, but it's a bit of a come down, isn't it, working on the line? And anyway, I've been charging.
Look, I want a job. Is there one or isn't there?
All right, you've got it. But no favours, mind. You're only there as long as you can do the job.
Look, we can't talk in here. Come on, let's go through. Across the sea, far away, oh, please remember me.
But what did she say about us?
Well, with their Billy coming and his room out of action, she'll want us out the way as quick as possible, won't she? I mean, you can see her point of view, Eunice.
Of course you can. You would, but it's all me. I am Betty Martin, is this? It's a put-up job. She rang that son of hers. He didn't ring her.
Good evening. Fred, is Elizabeth on her own in the bar?
Mrs. Walker, what's all of this about our room?
I've already explained, Fred, my son is coming home. I need your room.
But you rang him. He didn't ring you.
Look, calm down, Eunice, will you?
But you'd do anything to put us out on the street, wouldn't you?
I would hardly say out on the street. To the best of my knowledge, you do have alternative accommodation.
What alternative accommodation?
Look, simmer down, Eunice, will you? Now, look, you've got to admit, Mrs. Walker, look at it from our point of view.
Mrs. Walker.
What is it, love?
I'm ever so sorry, but this tooth of mine, it's getting worse and worse. I know it's inconvenient with Bet being away, but I think I'll have to go.
Oh, well, dear, if you must, you must. I'll cope as well as I can. Just hold the fort for a minute or two more, will you?
Yes, I will, Mrs. Walker.
Look, Mrs. Walker, if you're short behind the bar, I'm sure Eunice would help. What you love?
No, thank you.
Eunice doesn't mind. You don't mind, do you?
I said no, thank you, and I mean no, thank you. I'd rather that Mrs. G did not involve herself.
Oh, well, that's lovely, that is. I mean, what you really mean is you're frightened I'll have my fingers in your till.
I said nothing of the kind.
No, but you meant it. It's obvious. But you really do think I had my hand in the till at the foundryman?
Look, calm down, Eunice, will you? Don't get yourself all aerated.
I have no intention of having a shouting match in my own living room. Fred, I want you in the bar.
Well, that's it. We're not stopping here a minute longer.
Hang on, Eunice, we can't leave it. It's my job, it's our home, isn't it?
It isn't my home. I wouldn't stay here if you paid me.
We can't leave with nowhere to go, having Mrs. Walker didn't leave it
Fred,
like
you
that.
stop here. You do what you want because I'm sick of it. I've had enough. I'm going.
Eunice! Eunice!
Hi. You know, I think you can smell coffee a mile away. I've just put the kettle on.
Oh, no, it's all right. I'm not stopping. Hiya, mate. I just brought you bread.
Oh, we needn't have come specially.
No, I haven't. I've just come to tell you that my mum's been on the phone and she's on her way.
Oh, did she say what time she'll be here?
No, but I shouldn't think she'll be more than a couple of hours.
In that case, we'd better be getting our skates on, hadn't we? We've still got a bed to make up.
Hey, listen, thanks for having her, Emily. I don't know what I'd have done if you hadn't.
Oh, don't mention it. As a matter of fact, I'm quite looking forward to having the company.
Well, thanks very much, anyway. Now then, matey, how are you doing? Are you being a good girl for your Auntie Emily?
Of course she is, aren't you, Tracy?
Not making a mess, are you?
No, she's been doing a picture of you and Uncle Ken, haven't you?
Oh, yes, that's very good. Here, tell you what, we'll hang this on the wall, and everybody will be able to see what a clever little girl you are, won't they?
Are you sure you won't have a cup of coffee?
No, I better not. I'll have Alf doing handstands if them factory girls come in for their order. It's not made up yet. Listen, darling, you be a good girl, won't you? And help your Auntie Emily get everything ready for Granny Blanche, OK? See you later.
All right, bye. Now, let me see. They're both good. I don't know which I like better.
That's a stream.
That's a stream.
And that's a foot with a boot.
Yeah, Fred, don't let this go cold like you did the last.
Oh, you're a saint, Betty.
Oh, come on, grab hold of it. My hands are made of oilcloth. Oh, hey, it's hot.
So.
Ooh. You've not heard that from Eunice, then?
Not a word.
Look, Fred.
Look, Betty, if you're saying it's down to me, you can save your breath. It was her that did the storming out, weren't it?
She walked out for Mrs. Walker, not on you, Fred.
Even so, it was her that did the walking out.
Oh, so you're just going to stand by and do nothing and let her feel that you couldn't care less?
What, me stand by and do now?
Oh, it's like talking to a brick wall trying to get through to you.
Well, that's down to you, isn't it?
Oh, well, suit yourself. I mean, it's your funeral.
Don't worry, Betty. Eunice will be back. Quid to a cornflake. She'll be on that blower before dinner.
Another cup? There's one in the pot.
No, thanks. I reckon if I were to suffer another drop, I'd bust.
You expecting anybody?
Now, should I be expecting?
Susan!
Hi, Dad.
What are you doing here?
You invited me, remember? Something about being a bridesmaid at your wedding?
You were supposed to give me a ring from the station.
Oh, well, there didn't seem much point. There was a taxi there, so thought I'd save you the trouble. Hello, Uncle Albert.
Oh, my love. My word, I reckon you've grown 6 inches since I last saw you.
I hope you mean in height.
Where's your case?
Oh, I nearly forgot. It's in the taxi.
What do you mean you're still waiting?
That's right. He will be till you pay him.
I see.
And how are you, Uncle Albert?
Oh, I mustn't grumble.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, do you mind if I go and put the kettle on? I could murder a cup of tea. Bet you wouldn't say no either.
Yeah.
What's Madam up to in there?
She's washing the cups for the umpteenth time.
She'd do that till the cows come home. Hey, is that clock right?
Oh, it's 10 minutes past, actually. I think it's been on wheels since I had it cleaned. Well, you don't have to dash back,
No,
do you?
no, of course I don't. It's just that my mum should have been here half an hour since.
Well, perhaps she stopped somewhere on the way.
She could have given us a ring. Ah, talk of the flipping devil. Oh, it's you, Elsie.
Well, don't say it as if I was the plague or something.
Sorry. Come in. It's just we were expecting my mum about half an hour ago.
I told her to stop worrying. Perhaps she's stopped somewhere for lunch.
Yeah, well, if I know Blanche, there's no perhaps about it. Listen, I'm in a rush. I've got to go. I just stopped by to give you this.
What is it?
Well, tick it off me and you'll find out.
Oh, Elsie, you shouldn't have.
Just something to see on your way, that's all.
Oh, are you going to open it?
Oh, honestly, she's worse than me, she is. Oh, that's smashing. It's just what I wanted, is that?
Well, they do say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
Aye, and if that doesn't work, you can always bash him on the bonds with it.
Now, why didn't I think of that?
It's a pity Peter can't make it.
Yes, it would have been good to have had you both at the wedding. So, he can't be here. There's nothing we can do about it.
We're both dead chuffed, you know, about you and Deirdre. She's a smashing girl, don't you think so? Uncle
Ah,
Albert?
yes, he might have done worse.
And wee Tracy's gorgeous. I expect she's grown since I last saw her.
Oh, yes, she has.
Is she looking forward to the wedding?
Looking forward to it. The whole thing's been organised for her benefit, didn't you know? Actually, you might find you got your hands full. She hasn't been a bridesmaid before.
That'll make two of us then, won't it? You know, it's great to think I'll be having a little sister, but it's funny to think of Deirdre as my stepmom.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
You're going to be finding a few changes round here, Uncle Albert.
Oh, well, we'll see about that.
Well, this room certainly looks different for a start.
Now, you know, you needn't think everything's going to be changed because it's not.
I'm very glad to hear it.
Good.
Rose return. Hello, Nellie. I was just thinking about you. Well, I wanted a word about the licensed victuals ladies' evening on Friday.
Yes, Hilda. A light ale, please, and a tater pie to take out.
Both of them?
Huh? To take out? No, a light ale for in here and a tater pie to take out.
Oh, right.
He's not heard out then.
Right.
Got a face as long as Southport Pier.
Does it look as if it's aired out?
Well, that didn't last long, did it? A couple of months, would you say? Mind you, I can't say I'm surprised. A couple of hours with Fred G be more than enough for me.
Do us a favour, Hilda. Tie a knot in that tongue of yours.
I don't have to take that from you, Betty Turpin.
Listen, for your information, nobody's left anybody, so if I were you, lovey, I'd be very careful what I say.
She walked out, hasn't she?
In manner of speaking, yeah.
Not come back, has she?
Well, not yet.
What do you call it, then?
Oh, dear. Something the matter, Fred?
Well, no, Mrs. Walker. I just wondered if that were for me, you know.
Oh, no, it's Nellie Howdy, actually.
Oh.
By the way, Fred, you have made alternative arrangements for tonight, haven't you? Because Billy could be here any time after tea, you know.
Yeah.
Good, no problem then.
No, not at all.
Look, should we make it the best of 5 then?
You said the best out of 3.
Yeah, well, it takes me a couple of games to get me iron, you know.
The way you're flipping playing, mate, you won't be getting your eye until closing time. Get the ale in instead, eh?
I thought you were a sportsman then.
I am. Come on, give us a couple of pints of gargle over here, will you?
Okay.
The big fella's paying.
So very much. I'll do the same for you sometime.
Hey, you might be able to help me, you know.
Hey?
Yeah. Have you got any ideas I can use for a speech? You know, a best man speech at Ken and Deirdre's wedding.
Oh, Ken's wedding? You must be joking.
Yeah, I'm flipping laughing me head off, aren't I?
Well, it's as easy as falling off a bus, isn't it? All you do is crack a couple of jokes a bit near the knuckle, tell them how you wish their troubles be little ones. Well, and then you've cracked it, haven't you?
Well, it's not that easy, though, is it? I mean, not with Ken and Deirdre. I mean, they're not kids anymore, are they? They've been married before.
Yeah, but what difference does that make?
It's all right for some, isn't it?
Oh, what's up with you now, Hilda?
Well, at least he has been invited, hasn't he? Which is more than I can say for some around here.
Ah, you're looking at one.
Oh, you're different, aren't you?
Aye, we have noticed.
No, there was a time when being family counted for something. That's what I'm on about.
What family?
Well, me and Stan. We're Ken Barlow's family, aren't we? Related by marriage. Well, our Irma married their David, didn't she? That makes us family. As good as any road.
Look, I'll tell you what, Hilda. When I get spliced, you'll have a grandstand seat. Hey, it's a pity that lady Diana's spoken for. I'm doing nothing next Wednesday.
There you go. Ciao, mate. Have one yourself, mate.
Oh, ciao, mate.
No joy, then.
Huh?
The missus.
What about
How are you? Oh, come on, it's all over the factory. They've been yakking so much this morning, production must have gone down about 20%.
Bye, okay. News travels faster than flipping grease lightning around here, doesn't it?
Bad news, does she? She's not back then, I take it.
Nah.
Ah, don't worry. She'll come round.
That's what I thought, mate, but I don't know now.
You take my advice. Leave her alone. You go running after her now, and she'll have you where she wants you for the rest of her natural. Let her sweat it out a bit. Show her who's the boss.
You reckon, Mike?
Yeah, no problem. Cheers.
Oh, thanks, love. Hello. Oh, didn't she look lovely on it? I know. You know, you make me think I've been missing some all these years.
Sorry.
You know, you last night. Da-da-da. You were Maurice Rembrandt.
Go on, tell her.
Oh, we didn't actually start last night.
Oh.
She chickened out. The only thing she took off last night was the wrapper off her ice lolly.
Oh, well, I promised Emily I'd go to the pictures with her. I mean, I couldn't let her down now. Could I not after I promised?
No, of course you couldn't. And who don't you want to let down tonight? Or are you still working on that?
Oh, it's not like that, Rita.
Ah, well, you could have fooled me. Honestly, you got the backbone of a jellyfish sometimes,
Oh,
Mary.
Rita!
Well, listen, why don't you come right out and tell him you've no intention of going through with it? And I've done.
Because it's not the truth. I mean, I've said I would pose, and I will.
When?
Well, just as soon as we can get it arranged.
Now, you heard that, Elsie.
I heard it.
Not going to ring, you know.
She'll be round.
That's what he said this morning, isn't he? He said, I'll give it till dinner time, you said. In case you haven't noticed, Fred. Dinner's been and gone.
Give it a rest, will you, Betty?
Look, Fred, why don't you get round there and have it out with her? I mean, I'll finish off here.
Well, it was her that slammed out, weren't it? If I do that, she'll have me for a doormat the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
Well, that's the only way.
No, it's your way.
Well, what other way is there?
Well, her way. Look, Fred, if you don't make a move sharpish, she's going to feel that you couldn't care less what happens to her. And I can't say as I blame her. Now, come on.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
I couldn't think what to buy you.
Well, this is beautiful. Honestly, it is. Thank you very much. Honestly, you really have done us proud. I'll get it.
Right.
Ah, about time, too. I was thinking of sending a search party out for you.
I'm not that late.
Oh, no, it's only the best part of 4 hours since you phoned up saying you were on your way. Come by camel, did you?
I've not come from the next street, you know. Well, I take it I can come in now that I am here.
You don't change, do you?
Cheeky beggar. Hello,
Hello. We were beginning to wonder where you'd got to.
And I know who you can thank for that. We had to eat, didn't we?
We?
Got a lift, didn't I? Fellow that comes in the club.
Who just happened to be coming this way.
On business, as it so happens.
And who also just happens to have a jag, I shouldn't wonder.
How do you know?
I know you, don't I?
Here, let me take your coat. I'll take your case up in a minute.
Ta very much, love. And ta for putting me up and all. Now, where's my little angel?
Oh, if you thought she'd come to see us, you couldn't be more wrong. Tracy, there's somebody to see you.
She's bathing her dolls in the sink.
Doesn't seem 5 minutes since you were bathing her in the sink.
Don't I remember it and all?
Hello, my little treasure.
You brought me a present.
Oh, Tracy. Yes, me love, I have bought you a present, and you can have it in a minute. Just give me a chance to see how big you've grown.
You spoiler, you know that.
Isn't that what grannies are for?
Well, you better come in. Well, shut the door. He's got ears like a flipping elephant. It took you long enough. What happened? Did Mrs. Walker want a car cleaning or a back scratching or a boot licking?
Well, it weren't me that slammed out last night, were it?
Don't think I didn't notice that.
What was I supposed to do? Come with you? She's itching for me to get my bags packed. She ain't got their Billy come here for the good of her health, you know. Mine neither.
Look, I didn't expect you to come with me, Fred, but I do think you might have called us something this morning.
Me call? Me phone? Phones do work both ways, you know, Eunice.
Shh, these walls are like flipping cardboard.
Look, I didn't come here to have a row.
No. What did you come for?
Well, see if we can sort something out.
Well, like what, Fred?
Well, where do we go from here?
Oh, I don't know. Where do we go from here?
I don't know. It's a flipping mess, this is. Last thing I want is you sticking the boot in.
Well, that's how you see it, is
Look,
it,
Eunice,
Fred?
I can't take much more of this.
You can't.
Either we get something sorted out or I'll call it a day.
And is that what you want? Call it a day?
No, of course it isn't. I want to waste my shoe leather coming round here if that's what I wanted. How about you?
Oh, you know it isn't.
Oh, well, that's something, isn't it? I thought the worst when that phone didn't ring.
How do you think I felt stuck here?
Well, where do we go from here, eh?
I don't know, Fred. But you're right about one thing. It is a flipping mess, and that's for sure.
Well, that's £1.20 altogether. Hey, Scottish pound notes. We don't get many of them round here.
Well, they don't last any longer than yours, I can tell you.
I'll bet they don't, love. There we are. Thank you very
Mrs.
much.
Fairclough. Bye.
Ta-ta, love. Oh, now, if it's Mavis you're after, you're out of luck.
She's out, is she?
Yeah, it's half day. She's gone shopping.
Is it? She's tell you what time she'll be back?
Oh, I'm sorry, no.
Can I give her a message?
No, I don't think so. I'll see her again sometime.
Were it anything to do with last night?
Well, in a way it was, aye.
Oh, she was disappointed, having to let you down like that.
She were?
Oh, she's talked of nothing else all morning.
Well, as it happens, that was what I wanted to see her about.
Are you sure I can't help?
Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't know whether it was just an excuse, like, not to go through with the painting, you know.
An excuse? Mavis? Morris, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Listen, when do you reckon you could make a start?
Oh, whenever Mavis is free.
Well, I do know she's doing out tomorrow night.
Well, that's fine with me.
Right. Tomorrow it is, then.
Oh, if you see her before I do, perhaps you'll tell her, will you?
It'll be a pleasure, love.
That's right.
A pleasure.
She's not kidding nobody, is she? As soon as their Billy steps 1 foot over that door, it'll be curtains for me.
You sure of that, are you?
It's as plain as the nose on your face, isn't it? All that tripe about needing Billy's room. I bet that Pritchard fella's got his bags packed right now. As soon as Billy nicks back to Jersey, he'll be in there like a dose of salt.
And you're just going to hang around and let this happen, are you?
What can I do? You know the score.
You're selling yourself short, Fred. She owes you a heck of a lot, does Mrs. Walker. You've been like a right arm to her. And when she thinks about it, I'm sure she'd prefer the devil she knows.
Oh, aye. That's where we got our marching orders, is it?
She's nothing against you, Fred. You know that. Things went like clockwork between you until I came on the scene. Well, with me off the premises, she'll probably see you in a new light.
Well, what sort of a marriage would that be? I'd only see you on my day off.
Not if you didn't live in, you wouldn't.
Oh, no chance.
Will you listen, Freddie? The hours you spend there, she's not going to notice the difference. And I'm sure she'll prefer you to a total stranger, which is what this Pritchard fella is.
It won't work, love. She won't wear
But
it.
how'd you know until you've tried? Well, you'd have to pick your moment, get her in the right mood.
Oh, there's no point, is there? We've nowhere to stop. Your old fella won't let us stop here.
Well, I've thought of that. With your wages and mine, I'm sure we can afford to rent a little place. But if you lose your job, well...
Well, I suppose putting it that way, I haven't much choice, have we?
Hey, where are you going to stop tonight?
Stopping with a mate of mine.
Over my dead body. I'm not having my husband sleeping in a strange bed, not while I've a roof over my head. You can stop here.
Well, what about your old fella?
But this is an emergency. If he doesn't like it, he knows what he can do.
Does Peter write to you a lot then?
Oh, about once a month. He seems to be enjoying himself in the Navy.
Oh, well, you two still at it.
Oh, we've got a lot to talk about, haven't we, love?
Yes, we have. Although I can't think why. According to Uncle Albert, there's nothing about today that can hold a candle to the old
No,
days.
that's not quite true. There's some things I wouldn't swap for the world.
Why, and what's that?
Well, having a nice girl like you to talk to for a start.
Honestly, the things you'll say for a bag of humbugs.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Ken. Mr. Taylor.
Oh, how are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
Oh, I mustn't grumble.
Well, it doesn't do you much good if you do, does it? You must be Susan.
That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry. You two don't know each other, do you? Susan, this is my mum.
Very pleased to meet you.
Dearie, go and shove the kettle on. You know what it is.
Well, I should do by now, shouldn't I?
But you stay there now, go.
Oh, do you fancy stopping on after the wedding? I've always fancied my own cook and bottle washer.
Play your cards right, love. You could be marrying one.
She'll be lucky.
There's a bit adrift, isn't he?
Billy, you mean?
Aye, it's nearly closing time.
Oh, it's turned up a stranger town than this, I can tell you. Fred, you go when you're ready now. You don't have to lock up tonight.
Well, no, that's not what I was thinking, Mrs. Walker. It's your Billy. He's a bit late, isn't he?
Don't have to worry on that score. No, indeed. No, dear. You go when you're ready.
I'll get my gear then.
So what happens next?
We get a kid, don't we?
Oh, so it's any day now, then?
Hey, not before time, Betty.
Hey, I didn't know there was so much to it.
Well, I suppose they've got to be sure. Let's hope they don't keep you waiting too long, eh?
You're not the only one, Betty. Ellen?
Aye.
There's a coach going from Hardcastle Street and all.
Well, good luck to them and all. He must be halfway round the twist, going all that way for a wedding. Especially when they can see it for nothing on the telly.
Oh, but it's not the same on the telly, is it? There's no atmosphere. Not like there'd be in London.
I quite agree with you, Mrs. Hampton.
Atmosphere? What atmosphere? Standing for hours, all them crowds, not to mention the money they're going to have to shell out to get there.
I see, and what about the cup final?
What about it?
Standing for hours, all those crowds, and then the cost of getting there has a familiar ring, don't you think?
Yeah, but that's a cup final, isn't it? I mean, that's different. It's not the same thing at all.
Well, here's one who won't be going, that's for sure.
Well, you could be, you know. Put your mind to it. Just get your Stan in the right mood, whisper a few sweet nothings in his shell light. Anything's possible.
I'd never get him out the street, let alone to London. He'd be K-lad before they got the glass coach out the flipping garage. Be the Coronation all over again.
Hilda, that was 30 years ago. A fella deserves a fling every 30 years.
Look, once every 30 years I could put up with. It's all the practice he puts in between that gets me.
Oh, Rita. Why, you've got colour in your cheeks. Don't tell me you've been chased down Rosamond Street by Paul Newman.
No, as a matter of fact, I've had a quiet night in with Emily, and then I walked all the way back to the cabin, and you'll never guess what I've done.
Go on, we give up.
Well, you see, I thought I'd use my new handbag tonight, this one.
Very nice.
So I emptied all the things out of the other one, you know, that maroon one, the one I use in the shop.
The one she uses in the shop.
Yeah, but I put everything I wanted in, at least I thought I had.
Only you hadn't, and you forgot your keys, right?
Right. So what do you think I can borrow yours?
Well, I suppose you'll have to. Either that or spend night with us. Keys.
Oh, thank you ever so much. Look, you'll remind me to give them back to you, won't you, tomorrow? Honestly, there's some days when I think I forget my head if it were loose.
Hey, you might as well knock one back while you're here. A drink, baby.
No, I can't. I have to be up at 5:30.
Hey, hang on. I've got a message for you. From Toulouse Le Don.
Who?
Maurice the Brush. Tomorrow night's the night.
Tomorrow night?
When you bear all for art's sake. Have nothing on, will you?
Not tomorrow night, you won't anyway.
All right, you've never...
Now, did you or did you not say you're going to go through with it?
Well, yes.
Right, well, tomorrow night's the night. Okay.
I'll get it, Mrs. Walker. No, let it do for me. Oh. Rose return. Well, no, that's all right. He told me you'd be late. Where are you? At the airport? You're not? In Jersey? But, Billy, you promised. Well, when are you coming then? You're not? I see. Well, if you can't make it, you can't make it. Whatever's keeping you must be very important, that's all I can say. Goodbye.
I'll be on my way then, Mrs. Walker.
Yes, right, Fred.
Good night, Mrs. Walker.
Good night, Fred.
Come on, Tiger.
Oh, what time is it?
It's nearly 8 o'clock.
Something smells good.
It's called desire.
Why? My mum used to call it toast.
Hey. Now look, at 5 minutes before me bus.
I'll take the day off.
Oh, I'd love to. But if I lose my job, well, we might be a bit pushed.
Oh, don't worry, love. Our fire won't go out just because Mrs. Walker's give us the elbow.
And my fire won't go out just because Acme Dry Cleaners give me the push. But I wouldn't sack myself to suit them. Now, look, my dad's gone to work. You've got the flat to yourself.
Him and his 50 flaming clocks.
There's plenty of hot water. I've pressed your trousers. I've done your shirt. Now, why don't you tog yourself up? Take yourself up to the Rovers and say, Mrs. Walker, how would it be if I kept my job but lived out?
Oh, it's not on, love. She's got this flipping fella Pritchard coming, hasn't she?
Yes, but she can't accommodate him, can she? Not if she wants your room for that son of hers and the spare room's being decorated.
Good, shouldn't sort that out.
Oh, let's be honest, Fred. It's me that Madam Walker doesn't want. Well, she's got rid of me. And if she's to choose between the devil she knows, which is you, and the devil she doesn't know, which is this Pritchard fella, well. So, I'll come down and see you at dinner. Now, look out for me, because I'm not going in the pub and have Mrs. Walker tell me what she thinks of me. And remember, those are my dad's pyjamas. And when you make the bed, get rid of the crumbs. See you. Sure.
Ta-ra, love.
Say, it's not coming through now, is it? I mean, I can't fix it. If Fred was here, we'd be all right, but it's beyond me. Honestly, of all the mornings. Well, failing Fred, I mean, we could do your Billy coming through that door. No hope of that, unfortunately, dear. Oh, was he not able to make it? No, he can't make it. He rang me last night. Mind you, I expect I was silly to expect him to at the height of the season in Jersey, if you're running a wine bar. Well, we could phone Fred. I mean, I take it is at his father-in-law's. I dare say. Well, you've not fired him or anything, have you? Of course, no question of firing. No, I simply asked him to vacate his room so that his successor, Mr. Pritchard, could move in as arranged. Well, his room's vacated now, so all you've got to do is phone Mr. Pritchard. Hey, perhaps he could fix the pumps. Mr. Pritchard has a position, dear. He can't just drop it and rush over here. It'll be at least a week. Well, in the meantime, when we've got Ken Barlow stagnated, with no beer. I know. Perhaps you had better ring Fred. Now, I can't do it, dear. 1 set 2 with that wife of his is more than enough for me. Well, what will I say? Simply say, Mrs. Walker thanks you for vacating your room. Unfortunately, Mr. Pritchard cannot start immediately, so until he does, your services are still required.
What if he says get knotted?
Well, if the conversation takes that turn, dear, I can only advise you to hang up. No, I know we shall be pressed while Bet's away, but I dare say we shall survive without closing the doors.
Oh, blimey, O'Reilly.
And I'll tell you something. I was looking through my snaps a while back. In fact, I was showing them to Tracy, weren't I, love? And I came across some pictures of Ken and how Valerie taken on the wedding day. And you know something? It was exactly 19 years ago this week.
I'd be 7.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? 7.
You never showed me those snaps.
Of course I showed them to you. But I didn't let you touch them because you had jammy fingers.
Well, if we're talking about age difference, I don't think it matters one bit.
Oh, it's not that drastic anyway.
Well, I didn't mean it that, Rose. All I meant was it was strange that it should be the very same week. That's all I meant.
I mean, Deirdre's father died when she were only 8. I was still in my 20s. And I can tell you, it's no bed of roses on your own, making your own way in the hotel trade like I was. If a fellow like Ken here had waltzed me off to the altar, I wouldn't be asking for his birth certificate.
I wouldn't mind the hotel trade.
University, that's your next job. Never mind the hotel trade.
Nothing but hard work, the hotel trade.
Anyway, whatever happened to your plans to go to Strathclyde University and become a vet?
Oh, I just need a job for the holidays, Dad. I thought a hotel might be nice, on the reception or something.
How's Emily Bishop treating you?
Treating me like a starboarder.
I thought she'd be here, actually.
She's gone into town to buy a new hat, plus some things for the hen party.
Hen party? And whose idea was that?
Well, mine, really. I just asked Emily if one were organised. She said no, so we put our heads together.
Hen parties? Stag parties? You'll all be blooming blotto tomorrow.
Well, I don't know what you've got planned, Deirdre, but I'd like to nip round and say a few hellos here and there.
Right, well, I've got Tracy's thing to sort out. She may as well move in with her Auntie Emily tonight.
Yep, I got some packing to do.
Well, no woolly vests. We're going to Corfu, remember?
You know where you and me are going? We're going down to my allotment to pick some flowers for the church.
Hey, watch them roads now.
All right, it's all back streets and crofts.
Back streets can be busy these days.
Oh, Uncle Albert was a lollipop man, you know.
And I'll tell you something else. What with your hens and your stags and whatnot, a lot of you want guided across the blooming road.
I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just cutting the flipping ground from under my feet, aren't I?
I've never seen you so spiteful, Fred.
Oh, no, that's me, innit? Good old Fred, you know. Good old Fred, Mr. Reliable. I could get very nasty.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, I could say, where's your Billy when he's needed, eh? They've got him hung over my head like a flaming axe, haven't they? I could say, where is he? Where is he when he's needed?
I knew he wouldn't come over this time of the year.
Then there's that other finger, isn't there? That Pritchard.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him get down that cellar with his little spanner, sort them airlocks out like I do.
Didn't look like a cellar man to me from what I could see, Fred.
Hey, I say, then there's driving the car, driving that Rover. He won't be able to drive that like I do.
Oh, you got a point now, look.
No. Then, hey, what if I said to that Mrs. Walker, what if I said, right, Mrs. Walker, I've finished. How would she get to that wedding? Eh? On a bike?
Don't you get a taxi?
Taxi? I'm the taxi, Anna. Drive up there, go around, open the car door, stand to attention, salute. She gets more attention than Lady Diana, that one.
Yeah, no, you do her proud, Fred. She'd be silly to let you go, honest she would.
Well, I'm going to see her when she comes back from the shops.
What are you going to say?
I'm going to lay it on the line.
Well, you'll certainly get your tickets if you back her into a corner, you know. I mean, make it with pride, lovey. I mean, you made it here, didn't you? You mended the pumps. I mean, that's in your favour. So build on it. I mean, bring the car round to the front and give it a dose of elbow grease. Go on, show willing, lovey.
More than likely go out there and kick the flaming headlamps in. Cheers.
Cheers.
I wonder what I should wear.
Eh?
For tonight, you know, with Morris.
Well, I should have thought if you're posing for a nude picture, that's obvious.
I don't mean for the actual session, I mean beforehand. See, I was thinking of something perhaps diaphanous, something I can just slip off and step out of.
Like a twist of the wrist and there you stand, starker.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be fiddling about with hooks and eyes and buttons and things, do I?
No.
Morning.
Hello.
You'll never guess what I want.
Give up.
A box of confetti. If either one of you say you've had about a ton of it over your nappy in all your life, I'm going to come straight over that counter to you. How much?
Morning, ladies.
Hello, Blanche.
Hello. Now listen, you're all invited to an end party tonight. Emily's house. 8:30 or thereabouts.
Oh,
smashing. Lovely
Oh,
idea.
I'd love to come, but unfortunately I've got something else on.
Ah, well, see you later then.
Look, why don't you come round to our house for a cup of tea? Come on, I want to know what you've been doing.
Much the same as always, but still, why not?
You are going to pose for this, Morris, then, in your nothings?
Well, according to you, it's all arranged, isn't it?
Well, haven't you seen him? Hasn't he been in since?
All I'm going on is your message. I mean, naturally, I expect him to call in and confirm it.
Oh, no doubt he will, yeah.
Well, I mean, on the other hand, if he doesn't, well, I shall just take it he's had second thoughts.
Well, then again, if he does, you've got the perfect excuse now, haven't you? You know, with that end party cropping up in the nick of time.
Who says I need an excuse?
Just thought you might. They do say it's the flesh tones that are the most difficult. And the wrinkles. Nobody's ever invented a paint to do wrinkles.
Oh, very funny.
Da 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 da.
Oh, shut up.
Here, Fred. Get that down, you love. You'll be the blue-eyed boy again when Mrs. Walker sees the job you're doing.
I must be puddled.
No, a bit of flannel goes a long way, lovey, mark my words. Hey, you'll get that gold watch yet.
Hello, look.
Hey, save me a swig.
Well, there you go. I'll take you inside for one if you like.
I'm not going in there and being told to get out again.
Well, I've lots to tell you, and we can't talk out here, can we?
Well, let's go and sit in the car, shall we?
Aye. Cripes, we're copped.
Copped?
Mrs. Walker.
Has she seen me?
I don't know.
Well, quick, drive off before she does.
Don't get me wrong, Mrs. Walker, but I do think you're being a bit hard on Fred.
Any action I have taken, I was provoked into taking.
Well, I know you've had something to suffer, especially from her.
First, I can't call my house my own. Now, I can't call my car my own, whatever next. Ah, finally. Another 10 minutes and I would have called the police.
Police?
I shall still do so if the car's damaged.
The car's immaculate.
I should hope so. I should hope so indeed. Now, may I have the keys, please?
Where's the
And
keys?
perhaps you'll be good enough to give me an explanation.
I've been cleaning the car. I took it to the garage.
I see. A trip to the garage takes 2 hours.
Well, I must admit, I'll give you only a lift. It's not a federal case. I'll pay for the petrol.
No necessity for that.
I'll give Fred his due, Mrs. Walker. He's got that car looking a real treat.
I'd like to see this new fella clean that car like I do.
I don't see why not.
I'd like to see him sort that cell out like I do and all.
Whatever merits or demerits Mr. Pritchard may have, I won't find myself being blackguarded and called a liar in my own living room.
Eunice never called you a liar, Mrs. Walker. She swears she didn't.
Well, she may not have used those words, but the implication was there.
Oh, she cut her tongue off when she said that, Mrs. Walker, she told me.
Yes, well, I will believe in your wife's contrition when I hear it from her own lips.
Look, Mrs. Walker, I'm going to lay my cards on the table.
Please do.
Unless I get an assurance from you that my job is secure here, unless you agree to me living out and working here, well, then I've finished. As from now, I've finished.
Well, if that's the way you feel, don't let me stop you.
But it'll be hard to get somebody at such short notice, Mrs. Walker.
However, before you walk out at such an extremely inconvenient time, I would like to remind you that I do have some influence in the licensed trade. And if you insist on leaving without working your proper notice, your wife's name won't be the only one on a blacklist.
I just think it's very sad. I'm very sorry for Morris that he can't overcome his inhibitions because Well, I mean, it's very limiting, isn't it? I mean, not just artistically, but personally limiting to be all bottled up.
Well, I think he's messed you about on the quiet.
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, I did have a few qualms, and, well, maybe he's sensed that and he's letting me off the hook, so to speak.
Hello, Maury.
Hello. Ah, Mavis, now listen, I can't stop. I've got a wallop of ceiling down the road. Now, I'll meet you at 8 o'clock in the Rovers, then we can go on to my place. I'll switch the heating on so you'll be all right. See you later, eh? Ta.
Come on, love, before it gets cold.
Tell you what, after today, Lady Muck won't be seeing me down at that Rovers, love. After today, I've finished.
Oh, come and have something to eat. You'll feel better.
I think I'll get into something else. Get out the licence trade, you know. Get away from the toffee-nosed publicans and the silly blacklists.
Look, are you going to lie there feeling sorry for yourself, or are you coming to this table to have something to eat?
Oh, look at us now. We had it made, didn't we? Thought we were quids then. The genial host and his bonny bride going to get a pub of our own. Look what we've ended up.
Stop looking on the black side. At least my dad said we can stay here for a bit, didn't he?
Where is he? Why did his clocks up?
He does that last thing at night.
He'll have me going cuckoo before long.
How's your chop?
Lovely. Just how I like them.
Oh, listen. We'll be all right here for a bit. It's just a matter of your job.
I'll be like Bert Tilsley, won't I? We'll have a laugh.
I still think you should work your notice.
What's the point?
Well, a week's wages for a start.
Look at all that money, eh? All that money we spent on the honeymoon.
Look, it's no good looking to the past. You've to look to the future. That means good references, and that means getting round Mrs. Walker.
Look, I'm not driving her to that wedding, Uni.
Oh, yes, you are. So be told.
Oh, I'll drive all right. With a flipping rubbish dump and I'll leave her there.
Now, ladies, if you've all got cherries, and before you sit down, I think it falls on me as your hostess to propose a toast to Deirdre and to wish her every happiness and all good fortune in the years ahead.
Oh, splendid. Cheers, love. Cheers.
Thank you. Please, help yourself to more sherry.
Plus, there's some of the short stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It'll take more than a few shots to get this lot going.
Anyway, I think you've got some...
My dear, you look radiant.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. It's my new makeup.
Lovely. Oh, thank you very much. May I propose a toast? Emily's just done that. And you know something? She did it beautifully. I've organised some receptions in my time, and I've never heard it done so beautifully.
Ladies, I believe I missed the toast, but I wonder, would you bear with me if I ask you to raise your glasses once more and wish dear Deirdre the very best that married life can offer? And I speak as a woman who was blessed in her own marriage.
Oh, thank you. Thanks very much, Mrs. Walker.
I wonder how that treats Miss Blanche.
Is it going to be toast all night?
Well, I think it's refreshments and then charades.
Oh, all the very best, Deirdre, love. I thought I'd just chip in with this.
Oh, very welcome, Hilda.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, if I'm not being a bit previous, I'd like to give you a toast.
Oh, we'll need a toast rack for this lot.
And a jar of marmalade.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if there's already been toast.
We've had experts, kids.
Listen, you lot, I want Hilda's toast, so just give over.
Oh, well, I'd just like to say that whatever sentiments have been expressed already, I'd just like to add my own likewise.
Oh, very nice. Hey, haven't you got some cracking wedding presents? Have you seen them?
Now, Deirdre, I've been out and bought another hat. And I'm ever so worried that this one's a bit too exotic.
Oh, very smart.
Do you know, it makes the one I've picked look extremely conservative.
Come on, get your hand down, divvy up. Divvy up? We divvied up last time. What did we get? A so-called stripper come in here, took off her gloves, and that was that.
Divvies up? I stood the full whack for that stripper last time.
Right, well, I'm putting a fiver in.
All right, I'll match that there.
Yeah, and that's 2 from you, Eddie, and 2 from me. That's 14 quid, eh? Well, happy, aren't we?
Right. Hey, I'll tell you what, should we get that stripper again? That sugar? Hey, I'll get in touch with you if you like.
Forget the stripper, Eddie.
Betty, my love, you are in the chair.
Right, out. Hey, there's 14 quid in there. Just keep the ale coming out.
Get one for Fred out of that, will you?
Take more than one to
to cheer Fred up.
Oh, give him two then.
Where's Albert?
Oh, he's polishing his boots. And he's polishing his medals. In fact, he's polishing everything in sight.
Hey, if Albert's wearing his medals tomorrow, I'm wearing mine.
Medals? What medals have you got?
I've got the DSO at Port Said, didn't I?
What, DSO in bar or DSO in the bar?
In the bar.
A DSO with an oak leaf cluster. And I'm telling you, them oak leaf clusters are murder.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for your future entertainment, Eddie and his magic squeeze box.
Lad, Eddie.
Right, do I hear any requests?
Yeah, take the flaming thing out and bury it.
Thank you very much, Betty. Do I hear Maggie May?
No.
Not unless they move Lime Street, no.
Well, what about a request for Maggie May?
No.
Right,
Yes.
I'm going to play it then.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, Maggie, Maggie May, they have taken her away. No more.
I think it's terrible when you think of how we were brought up to be all sort of shy, you know, and given all sorts of phobias. Now, I mean, I remember once when we went on a Sunday school trip one summer, well, on a trip with the Sunday school, and we went on a train to the country. Oh, it was ever such a hot day, and three of us like went off on our own, you see, and we came across this sand pit that was all flooded. Well, it looked ever so inviting, so we decided we'd go for a swim. I mean, we hadn't got our swimsuits with us or anything like that, but there we were, all splashing about as nature intended. And suddenly along came Miss Cumberbatch, that was the teacher. And when she saw us, her voice went all high-pitched and hysterical. And the next Sunday, we were all made to stand up in front of the entire Sunday school. And we were warned to be expelled.
Mavis, are you trying to tell me something?
Well, yes, I'm trying to tell you about this trip.
Are you trying to tell me you don't want to pose?
You see me posing, quite honestly.
Don't you trust me? Is that
Oh, yes, of course, I trust you. It's just that it's not in me.
Everything's laid on.
Well, can I put it this way? I mean, would you let me paint you in the nude?
Listen, I went to Sunday school, and I've laughed about jokes about nudist camps. I never thought I'd live through my army medical. But you...
I'm sorry.
I better go. We're just embarrassing each other. You will come sketching again.
Yes, if you can stand having somebody around that's proved such a fraud.
Wait now. Right, film time. Right.
No,
Go on.
That's a film.
A house.
A house.
Yeah.
House?
Oh, film star.
Film star.
Hey, it should be a title.
No, she can have a
Leave
film
it.
star if she wants
If she
to.
wants to have a
Go on,
film
go on,
star,
Elsa, go on.
All right, let her have it. Go on.
2, 3, 4, 50.
Film star with 40 syllables.
A film star age 40.
Vital statistic,
Yeah. Sabrina.
Yes.
No.
Film star of the 40s.
Oh, right.
Film star.
Ronald Cole.
Give us the next clue. Give us the next clue.
Give us another clue. Musical film star. Ginger Rogers. Musical film star of the 40s.
Oh, Betty Grable.
Oh. Give us a clue. Come on. Think.
What's that?
If the hat has some bearing, might I suggest Anna Neagle?
Oh, it's Betty Grable, I've told
Mother
you.
Riley.
What? Ah, no, I've got it. I've got Carmen Miranda.
Betty. Doesn't seem 10 minutes since I was with him, you know, thinking I cracked it like.
Yeah. It's nice to see Ken letting himself go a bit, though, isn't it?
Hope he makes out better than me.
Yeah.
Seems to have made it up with Mike Baldwin, doesn't it? Don't seem to be any jealousy, does there now?
Is Annie still in there with the hens?
Yeah, it seems like it.
I was thinking of having a word with her, see if she'd come round a bit. I did go after a bit bull-headed, didn't I?
Shouldn't bank on it, Fred.
I don't know, a few sherries, you know what I mean.
She's written to Pritchard, you know.
Huh?
She sat down and wrote this afternoon. I posted the letter, you know, just before tea time. She wants him to start in a week's time.
Miles too soon. Street's not heard yet.
No, I'm not. The coach leaves Marshall's at 5:15.
Yeah, well, it's only a cock stride. You've quarter of an hour yet.
I know, but Betty asked me to meet her there at 5:15 so we'll get a good seat.
She's already got a good seat. Don't look like that. Not bad for 5 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I'd better go.
Now have you got everything? Your little camp stool and your tent and your coloured television?
Yes, thank you. I've got everything I need.
Except Charles, and she's having him.
Oh, look, you better get in. You're going to catch your death cold.
You worry about yourself, madam. And don't forget, if she throws that bouquet at you, grab it. And don't get off with any Arabs. Hey, and you better get going, you're going to be late.
All right, well, goodbye, and thanks for letting me stay the night.
You never have got her up otherwise. Oh, off you go. Enjoy yourself. Try, love.
Bye.
Bet, select!
Hey, come on, take that smile off your face.
I'm sorry, dear. I know I shouldn't be like this, but there really is rather a cloud over the proceedings.
Go away. Has somebody found just cause an impediment, have they?
No, not their proceedings, our proceedings. Mr. Pritchard, Fred's successor.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Pritchard.
Won't be joining us.
Well, it was me that told you.
Oh, yes, of course.
Does Fred know?
Don't see it's any of Fred's business.
Well, that's one way of looking at it, but on the other hand...
If you have a constructive suggestion to make, Bet, I am perfectly willing to listen to you.
Well, he is Johnny on the spot, is Fred. He's here, he's working, might even be persuaded to stay.
Not sure I want him to stay.
That is up to you.
Little bit on the right there, I think, love.
Am I? Do you know, I'm not surprised. I've been told I've got an astigmatism. Yeah.
On the other hand, Bet, I wouldn't like you to run away with the wrong idea. Now, I have no complaints about the way Fred worked. Occasional lapses, yes, but in general, I was satisfied, which is more than I can say for that wife of his. When I think what I did for them, I would never have expected that she'd turn on me like she did.
Hard luck on Fred, though.
Oh, well, they're married now, they're an entity.
Yeah, well, just an idea. Might be worth asking him.
Pleading, you mean? Begging?
Now it's easy, Mrs. Walker.
No. Move your head, love. That's better.
Well, say something, even if it's great or upside down or something.
It's all right.
Oh, just what I needed, a great dollop of encouragement, that is.
Look, you're not hanging a flag up.
How about you, Else? I'm getting nothing from him.
I don't know. Looks upside down to me.
Oh, well, it's not. It's right rolled up.
Oh. Well, I bow to your superior knowledge, and as a token of respect...
Well, that's not the way they show respect. Not at Union Jack.
Oh, well...
Not with a Yankee salute.
Old habits die hard.
Oh, I bet they do.
Yeah. Well, you may have served with the British, but I fought with the Yanks.
And one, eh, Else?
And one. Look, I've got a cup of celebration coffee on if anybody wants one.
No, our Susan's in the house. She'll make a cup.
Oh, well, blow you then.
Hey, I'll come.
All right, come on.
Hey, any chance of a bacon butty and all?
Oh, you might get milk and sugar if you're lucky. Oh, Albert.
What?
You're a credit to the street.
I always have been.
You speak up a wee bit, I can't hear you.
Mate, wait for the naval officer.
Do you mind?
Oh, sorry, love. I'll see you. I've got a heavy day with the redhead. Oh, hello, Albert.
Hi.
You're silly.
Who are you talking to?
What?
I said, who are you talking to?
Hold on. I'm talking to Granny, I'm trying to.
In Glasgow.
Well, that's where she lives. It's great Uncle Albert getting his own in as usual. Do you want a word with him? She wants a word with you.
Oh, does she? Right, well, make it as quick as you can on account of the price. Huh? Oh, I'm all right. Apart from the pain in my legs, and nobody cares. Right, right. Well, write a letter. It's time you stirred yourself. Yes, righto. Ta-da.
What did you do that for?
Because I finished.
Well, I hadn't. I wanted to say cheerio.
Well, I said goodbye for you, didn't I? What about a cup of tea?
You're a very spoilt old man, do you know that?
Well, when you get to my age, you expect it. Here, why don't you stop here till your dad comes back?
Because I've got to get a job before I go back to university. Life isn't one long holiday for everyone, you know.
Well, you can get the job round here in the holidays.
Round here? I was thinking of something a bit more exciting like London. And anyway, what is there to keep me round here?
Me?
And that's another good reason for going to London.
Cheeky.
Do you want a bit of Dundee cake?
Aye, go on.
No, if you'd shaped yourself, you could have got your money in last week. Then I could have gone to London with Mavis and Betty. I mean, look at them. Neither of them have got husbands working for them, and they're going. Huh, what am I talking about? Husbands working for them, as if I have.
I tried, didn't I, but it was bank holiday. There's more bank holidays now than soft mick.
Well, there's no law against knocking on doors on bank holidays, you know.
They don't want me, do they? I mean, I'd work on bank holiday, but they won't have me.
Oh, yeah, you'd work on bank holiday and have the rest of the year off. I mean, look at that. Black and white telly after all the years we've been married.
If I'd got the money, you could have gone.
Oh, forget it, Stan. You'll not change, so just forget it.
Well, I didn't bring it up.
I said forget it.
Why can't we go to Rovers? Any Rover's got a colour set. Anybody invited.
Well, I'm not anybody, am I? You don't care who I'm beholden to, do you? You got about as much pride as a... Go and get a clean shirt on.
What for?
Because this is an event, and we don't get that many of them.
But they won't see me.
I will, and I don't want my enjoyment spoiling. What bit I have.
You be careful, Fred.
Yes, Mrs. Walker. Pack horse I am. Nothing but a flaming pack horse.
Just what I'm after. Give me a lift with them chairs, Dobbin.
I'll be glad to get out of here. I must have been mad to start here in the first place. You know that, don't you?
I do, Freddie, I do. That's something I've always said about you. He's mad.
Yeah, and I'm not joking either, lady. Get out of here, get another job. Labouring, driving, a summer town, I know. Get away from all this nag, flipping nag. You know me, I must have been to a lally to start here in the first place. And then there's the money. I'll be on a foreman's money in 6 months. You'll just watch.
Summer, Fred. If you were acting, you wouldn't win out. And I'll tell you something else. Pritchard's let her down. She's not got anybody for you.
No skin off my nose.
Suit yourself. Just a piece of information. Now tell us.
Where do you want this thing, any road?
Oh, now let me think. All the chairs are facing this way. I think we'll have it back there.
Oh, and I can do without the comedy routine and all.
Go on, you know you love it.
Get out.
What the hell was that?
Listen, you just look after what you're doing, will you? Leave what I'm doing to me, OK?
Fred, could you see to the cellar?
I'll do for her, I will. I'll flaming do for her.
She wants you, Freddykins.
Come in.
Hey, and there are ponies and rabbits and hedgehogs. Lots of hedgehogs. Hey, and do you know what I saw once? A fox. Have you ever seen a fox?
No.
Oh, well, you know Basil Brush, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen him, haven't you?
Yes, I've seen it on television.
Ah, well, a fox is just like that. Just like Basil Brush, only real. So what do you say? Would you like to come and stay in the country with your nana?
I don't know.
Hey, we've got a doggy, too. A big Alsatian. He's supposed to be for security reasons, but he's as daft as all get out.
Well, it sounds lovely, doesn't it, Tracy?
Yes.
Yes, but we've been busy, haven't we? You know, we try to go somewhere nice every week. Bus rides and Bellevue and trips into town.
You are a lucky girl.
Are you going to ask Nana your riddle?
Oh, hey, what riddle's this, then?
Have you found out the weight of a whale?
Oh, I don't know. How do you find out the weight of a
You
whale?
take it to a railway station.
Very good. That was lovely.
Ilse,
Give us a chance to get me coat off.
shut your eyes.
What for?
Just shut your eyes and do as you're told. Had he shut?
Come on, you daft devil.
Right, come on. No peeping now.
What are you doing?
Right, you can open them now.
Oh, where did you get... Hey,
No, it didn't come out no back window, and it didn't fall off a lorry neither. It's strictly legit, that. It's just this mate of mine's got a second-hand shop. It's not brand new, but it's perfect. Anyway, I told him what a fantastic landlady I had, and how only the best was good enough for her. Then I catalogued all the favours I'd done for him in the past, and hey presto, he came across with this. It's yours for the day, Duchess.
is it colour?
Would I get you anything but full glowing colour, would I?
And it works?
Like an Irish navvy on payday. Of course it works, don't it, Stan? We've had it going.
Aye.
Oh, it's lovely.
Passionate.
Yeah. You better get a tie on and all.
Yeah, well, Hilda, we were thinking, that is Stan and me was thinking, well, it's more for you, this, you know, than us rough fellas, like all them hymns and pageantry and crying your eyes out and that, you know. So we thought, like, that while you're wallowing in the royal wedding, me and Stan would take advantage of the extended hours at the Rovers. Because it doesn't happen every day of the week, does it, Stan?
No.
Yeah, show us how to work it then.
Right. Well, you see now, they're your channel buttons, like BBC One, BBC Two, ITV, right? And then that's your pictures and your colour and that. You can monkey around all you want. I mean, it's yours for the day, like I said.
How do I switch it on?
Simplicity itself. Look.
Right, well, don't make a noise if you come in.
Wouldn't dream of it, Hilda. Would we, Stan?
No.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Aye, but is it allowed?
Yes, I'm allowed a meeting now. This is the first drink I bought for anyone in the pub, so feel honoured.
Well, I'm not stopping you. Hey, Mike, you think you can find this young lady a job during the holidays?
Is he kidding?
No?
Well, how far are you willing to travel?
Anyway?
Well, ask around, love, but don't be too hopeful. Anyway, I'll see you.
Hey, Stan, how are you fixed for boozing money?
Oh, not flush.
Me neither. Still, if we play our cards right and stand next to some generous people and that. All right. Come on.
Fred, give me a moment, please. Ah, Fred. Now, you'll be happy to know that I've thought over the whole staff problem, and I have decided, in my wisdom, to let you stay on.
Oh, that's a bit of a turn-up, Mrs. Walker. What about this Pritchard fella?
I prefer you.
Well, I have made other arrangements, as you know. I'll have to think it over. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll think it over and I'll let you know what I've decided, eh?
Yes, do that.
It's a bit throng in there. I'll get on. I'll tell you later.
I'll get on with Select, Fred.
Well, let's have a bank holiday every week then. I mean, I'm the one that's paying the so-called workers, remember? I'm the one that's losing production. There's a country on its knees and all they can think about is a flaming holiday. What do you mean, sposa?
Ah, now who was it told me that you'd been invited to St. Paul?
Well, now, actually, Elsie, it wouldn't be undeserved. And I'm sure that far less worthy people are there.
You know, I'm not so sure she's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the wedding. Everything all right, Beth?
It's not working, Mrs. Walker.
Oh, come now.
I know how to do it, Mrs. Walker. It is not working.
Oh, no.
Do you know anything at all about these things? I mean, do you know what you're doing?
I know as much as anybody in this pub. That's not saying much.
Oh, Fred, whatever happened?
I'm blowed if I know, Mrs. Walker.
Well, get on the phone and get an engineer.
Today? I'll never get one today.
Try, Fred, try.
You know, we'll have missed the procession arriving at St. Paul's.
I think I'll go home.
Oh, give it a minute, love. Probably only needs a good kick.
Oh. Nothing.
Hello, love. It's me.
Oh, hello, love. I thought you'd be busy.
I am. Listen, I've got to keep quiet. I'm supposed to be looking for the television engineer. The set's conked out.
Oh, I am glad.
Anyway, that's not all. I've been having a word with her this morning. She wants me to stop on here. You know that fella, that was coming, Pritchard? Well, apparently he's let her down. He can't turn up.
Oh, what did you say?
Well, I just said I'd let her know,
Good for you. You let her stew for a bit. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll come down and have a word with Madam Walker. Now, don't argue. Just put the phone down. My set hasn't conked out.
Waiting. Why are we waiting? Why are we...
No joy, Mrs. Walker.
Well, we turn, you see. Len, can you see anything?
It's a mystery to me.
Well, I said it would be.
What's up? It's on the blink, isn't it?
Mrs. Walker, could I hazard a suggestion? I mean, would it be worth a tenner for you to have a good picture, like?
Why, do you know someone who can help?
Oh, yeah, definitely, but, a tenner, like?
I've no option, have I?
Right, you stay where you are. Stanley, come with me. Oh, quick, Stan, get it unplugged.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Elsa, you're going to watch the royal wedding on your own telly in the Rovers with a fiver in your purse. Their telly's bust, but I in them this. You'll be the hero of the hour.
Oh,
Come on, Stan.
right.
Hey, what about Tommy Carter? He's the whiz kid on these, isn't he?
Well, he used to be. He snuffed it 3 weeks ago, didn't he?
He didn't.
Killed over at Trafford Park watching Lanky play.
Would you blame him, Billy?
Oggies to the rescue. Come on, Alf, get that one off, lads. Why me? Come on, hurry up.
Messing with this blooming thing for two last half hour.
We're missing the start anyway.
There we are. Now then, just get that plug in there.
Can you all see at the back?
This doesn't work this time.
There we are, Mrs. Walker. There's your picture. I think we said a tenner.
Don't know what you'd do without us. Excuse me, would you mind removing your wig?
How much longer? My stomach feels as though my throat's cut.
Will you be patient? I can't watch weddings and make you and Ellie lunch at the same time.
Who said that about lunch? I thought we were having dinner.
We are having dinner, only I call it lunch. There you are. That'll do you no harm.
What's that?
It's deadly nightshade. We use it quite a lot in Scotland.
Deadly nightshade? That's poison.
That's how we get rid of our grumpy old relatives.
But I'm not being grumpy. It just is too much for me. Smells so good.
Flatterer. It's broccoli and it's good for you. Go on, eat it. It's Mr. Baldwin.
Oh, why?
Hello, Albert. You get on with your nosh. And I must say, it smells very good.
Do you want some?
Oh, no, I'm only here a minute. You were talking about a job down the pump.
Oh, yes, sit down.
Oh, thanks. Well, I don't know. It must be fate. I got back to my pad and this mate of mine phoned from the smoke.
He means London.
I know what he means. Sorry.
Well, anyway, he's got this wine bar in Chiswick, and he's always looking for bright birds as barmaids. And not much money, but you get a lot of tips.
That sounds great.
Nothing you saw it. Not in London.
How, but these girls aren't like us. They don't stay in these back streets for the rest of our lives. They go around the world, some of them.
Was she going to stay in London? Answer me that.
Right. A flat goes with a job. You share with two other girls, okay?
That sounds marvellous.
Right. What do I tell him?
Tell him yes.
Okay, well, look, I'll see you later about the details.
Right, well, I'll be ready anytime. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
What do you think of that, then?
I think you must be off your rocker. Your dad'll go mad.
Well, in that case, we better not tell him whose idea it was to ask Mr. Baldwin in the first place. Wouldn't want to get you into trouble.
I shouldn't grumble, really. I mean, as country clubs go, it's very nice. And the accommodation's lovely.
Yeah, well, it's just the clientele then, is it?
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, there's a lot of money in the Midlands, and some of them enjoy chucking it about. Oh, the majority are pleasant enough, but a few of them go out of their way to make you feel like the hired hand.
Which you are.
They needn't stuff it down your throat, though.
Right. Can we have some again, Bet Love?
Hey, steady, Jan. You've got the last round.
No, go on, take it off him. He's coining it in over there.
Oh, when you're ready, Bet.
Oh, now, doesn't he look happy?
I have just been doing my good deed for the day.
Oh, and is she happy as well?
As a matter of fact, she is.
What you having?
I'll have a large Scottish for you, please, Alfred.
I'm sorry I asked. Can we have a large scotch with that order, love?
Looking forward to working for the tycoon again,
Oh, over the moon.
Yeah, and don't forget you're under Ivy this trip. I've got all the trouble I can handle.
Yes, you can tell, can't you, that we're just good friends.
And that's not easy with him, is it, Chuck?
Excuse me, no.
Right, Stan. Here we go, over the top. Mrs. Walker, I think we have a little transaction to, transact like, you know.
Yes, I wanted a word with you. It may have escaped your notice that my set is still unrepaired.
Ah. Yeah, well, I mean, I never said nothing about that, did I? I mean, if you recall my exact words, they were, would it be worth it to you for a tenner to get a good picture? And you've certainly got that. You can't deny that, can you? Thank you very much indeed, Mrs. Walker. Always a pleasure to be of service to you. How about that then, Stan? Hey?
Very nice. For once, I got here before you spent it.
Oh, hello, Hilda.
Goodbye.
Could I have a word with you, Mrs. Walker, please?
You'd better come through.
Oh, we may as well have a fine moment.
I hope this won't take long, Mrs. G. We are rather busy.
No, it won't take long at all, Mrs. Walker. Fred tells me you've asked him to stay on.
Yes, I have. I've suggested that we revert to the normal arrangement.
Not quite, Mrs. Walker. I don't mind him working here as before, but he's not living in. I don't intend to carry on my married life as a separated couple, and as it obviously would be uncomfortable for us to live here, he can live with me. I hope you see the point.
That's agreeable to me.
Good. And as you won't be providing bed and board, we will be negotiating an extra payment in lieu. I had thought $12.50 a week.
World War III, do you reckon?
You haven't seen Rita, have you, or Len?
Len, they were in earlier.
Oh, yeah, I think they've gone window shopping or something. She said something about furniture.
Oh, dear, well, if you see them, will you ask them to give me a knock? It is urgent.
The house isn't on fire, is it?
I can't smell oats.
How'd you get on?
How do you think? You stop on here, you live with me, and you get an extra 10 quid a week to make up for your bed and board.
Get away.
Oh, you didn't marry rubbish, you know. Now, collect your things later and I'll see you at home. Okay.
Right.
Charlotte.
Hi, heck, Fred. I knew she wasn't behind the door, but I didn't know you'd married Wonder Woman.
Me neither.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, it's not like drinking at 4 o'clock.
No, there's not like it. By the way, Emily's been looking for you. She wants you urgently. She said to give her a knock.
No codology. She was in earlier on. She said it was urgent.
Come on.
Well, let's have a drink.
No, we can have a drink later. Come on.
Elsie said you were. Yes, I'm glad you got the message. Come on in. I can only think it's with my name being on the form.
Pardon?
The application for fostering, my name and address was on it as a referee.
Yeah.
Well,
What about it, love?
when they couldn't get you on the phone, they gave me a ring to see if I could help. It was a Mr. Worthington. I think you've met him.
Yes, we have.
Well, they've got a boy. A 13-year-old boy in urgent need of fostering, and he wants you to get in touch with him as soon as you can. With Mr. Worthington, I mean. I've got his address and telephone number.
We'll ring him.
No, we'll go. We'll go, Len. Thanks, Emily.
Come on, love.
Thanks, love.
Bye.
Ta-da.
Good luck.
And we return to the street tomorrow morning at the same time here on Plus. After the break, we head north from Weatherfield to Yorkshire and Emmerdale.